So rocks skitter down from the slopes above, breaking the eerie silence. Then nothing. The same nothing that has prevailed the area for the last half a day. Another loose stone tumbles from the other side of the narrow valley. The soft clacking sound it makes bouncing down the slope is so out of place juxtaposed to the silence that it might as well be thunder. The more stones begin to tumble, and then the stones on the ground begin to vibrate. Something is coming. And the something that's coming was Weston's motorcycle. I don't know if you could hear it or not, but
yes, we could.
It was rumbling in the background. So yes, the granite backs are coming. So where you guys are at currently, you were across the sea when the Firstborn and the Red Rocks launched their military coup against the Kren Empire and seized the majority of the Northern Empire. Several other things have happened in the meantime. You've gotten scattered messages through the sending spell that have alerted you to that some of your groups at least did make it out of the attack in one piece. You still don't know the whereabouts of others. You know that the majority of the south and western half of the Northern Kren Empire are under Firstborn control, and some of the areas are hotly contested. Originally, the city of Euros, the dwarven ancestral home, was free of Firstborn control, but a boat showed up from there that was in a very foreboding condition, as everyone on it had been put to sleep. It almost sailed right past the port when it was stopped by the blockade there, and when they boarded the ship, no one was able to be roused from the slumber that they're in. The other city on the coast, its name for the moment escapes me. Give me just a sec. What's that? Capsani is massively contested right now. There's still, at last reports, fighting in the streets, and certain portions of the city are held out for different factions. And the only area that right now is safe and clear is the forested area of Thivis and the dwarven mine city of Aranimus. Other than that, the Empire is in a shambles in the north. The Emperor happened to be in the south when the attack was launched. We believe that's on purpose, that they intended for him to be gone. He had come to deal personally with the drow problem in the south, and that's when the Firstborn took advantage of him being gone. So he is currently reassessing and reamassing his forces in the Southern Empire at Jaffe. Not Jaffe. What's the name of that city? I don't remember my cities. There's too many of them. Whatever that major port city is, I'll have it in a moment. Kren. It is Minos. He is in the city of Minos, amassing his forces. You had gone to the south to recover the key, which you did. The other half of the key to the labyrinth of the Queen in the northern continent. You picked it up from a group of were-rats and collected some other treasure. Then you were joining the Black Claws and marched to Minos, to where you were going to join a massive invasion of the Underdark at that point in time to rescue your people. However, now that those forces have been diverted to the north, the Emperor has decided to send in some recon special forces style teams to hopefully deal with this problem. He's sending several small groups to the cities that were taken in an effort to explore the area and find out what has been given or been taken by the drow, and hopefully rescue some of your people before it's too late. And that's where we'll start tonight. You've done a couple other things, talked with some factions, met with some people. Is there anything else going on that you'd like to do?
How much time do we have? Do we have any time for crafting?
Yeah, you would have had a week. So even traveling back and forth from other local area cities, you'd still have 6 days of crafting.
Okay. I posted in Fantasy Grounds what Mike gave us for the thing.
Yep. I'm still working on adding stuff in.
Yep. So any stealth rolls you make while in the Underdark, you'll get a +2 to while you're wearing that cloak.
You said 6 days?
Yep.
Oh wow, that was bad.
Yeah, that's not good. There's a 1 and a 2 in there.
Yeah.
I think the only thing Phil would really be curious about is if we can find any other scrolls on the cheap that he'd be able to add to his book. That's probably the only thing that he's like, I might care about this. But, I mean, that and light were the only things that he was really like, will this help us?
Yeah.
So,
Light, like I explained in chat, it could help you in certain situations, but overall it is an unwise thing to use for reasons explained.
Is my dagger in its sheath fully protected from emitting light?
Yeah, it won't leak any light.
Okay.
it won't leak.
Just as an FYI, Mav, the Pearl of Power in the party sheet is yours.
Yep.
Phil, the Ring of Shifting in the party sheet is yours.
Oh, okay. I will.
The Coral Necklace of the Sea is for anybody. It allows for breathing underwater and free movement underwater. Actually, freedom of movement is not the right classification, I think. It allows for, like, moving underwater
Free actions.
at normal speed. Yeah, whatever, yeah. And there's a wand, but I don't remember what that is. Do we know what that wand is? Wand of Secrets, that's right.
Yeah, the one was totally.
Oh, is that not identified?
It's not.
I can identify that.
Okay, cool.
I'll take that one.
Yep.
Ta-da. It is not
Okay.
identified.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I'm just gonna remind Otheg, the longbow is cursed, but it's the only negative is if you hit a natural 1.
Yep.
So otherwise
Just
it does
things that I
count
give
as
you
magic. What?
Oh,
Oh, that's true.
sorry. There was multiple talking. What was after that?
It counts as magic, but so it's a magical weapon. It doesn't do any extra damage or anything like that.
No,
But
yeah,
it does count as
actually
magic.
counts
it's true.
And Mav said just hit anything that he makes have advantage.
Yeah,
You don't
that.
have to worry about a negative 1. Or I mean a natural 1.
Usually, typically you will not have to, but it's not guaranteed.
I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance you can still roll natural 1 and an advantage.
Who's rocking the Femur Great Club?
The Femur Great Club is technically back at the house.
So what you're saying is that Red Rocks are rocking that.
Somebody might be.
That's very sad.
Yes, it is.
It's very sad.
I mounted it. I didn't ever actually like in game do it, but I always intended it for it to be mounted as a trophy.
Yeah.
The Granitebacks are on a stealth mission across the countryside, and they see one Red Rock in the midst of all of them rocking that. Fennec just charges.
Yeah,
Screw the
Fennec
plan.
feels
I'm getting
a-
my feet
Give me
back.
my Great Club!
Yes. Fennec feels a great disturbance in the femur.
Yeah, there were a lot of things, like, as I plotted out what was going to happen in this campaign, like, the more stuff you started putting into your house, and then the week before you guys were like, can we buy this bar? And if I'd have been like, no, don't buy the bar, I could have known you, but,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is sad. All this stuff. It's gonna...
And we're like, who should we get to work at the bar? And you're like, don't even worry about it.
Random NPC is good to know.
Yeah. Yep, I was like, dang, next week, it all doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we don't have any money again.
I have 94 gold.
Yeah, I have 143, but I mean the 5,000 in the bank.
Yeah,
No
it's
longer in
gone.
the bank.
Yeah.
I've got 284.
We have 4,000 silver pieces.
Silver pieces just sitting in the party loot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's been sitting there for a long time.
I don't remember where that came from.
I actually think that got converted. I'm pretty sure it did.
Did it? Because I think that was back. I think that was back from the Crystal Cave or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was too.
I don't know. I wasn't there that week, so I don't know what you guys actually got. But that's been sitting in the party sheet for a long time.
We got death that week.
I think you can only pull it over one at a time.
What, the gold?
Yeah,
Silver
you can
pieces?
either mass divide it or you can drag it like one item at a time. It's really dumb.
Oh no, I can't drag it. It just it gives me that much, but it doesn't actually remove it from the party sheet.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Guys, there's infinite.
Everybody just grab your 4,000 gold.
Please don't do that. I don't know where I got all this platinum.
Somehow I'm sitting on 65,000 gold, guys.
No, 65,000 silver.
Remember when you guys had 65,000 silver and you were like, yeah, but we got 400,000 back at the castle, so
Yeah.
I don't even care.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden the income went like.
Yeah. All right.
Just
Well,
took off.
Thanak, while you are at the Weave Guardian's place, that's where you figure out they teach you that while you're traveling with a Bastion, that you can greatly aid his powers by using yours. So that's one of the things they pick up from you. It looks like they're planning to move. That they're not planning on staying in Jaffe much longer. That the situation here being right on the border here, they're not 100% sold on it, but they look like they'd be ready to go at a pretty quick notice if things went to crap.
Do we know what the synergy is between the two of us?
Thanak's power is he can make a skill check to delay a spell being cast. If there's a caster under that effect and your turn comes up, you can suck that spell up without.
Okay.
The only thing it might do to you is it could. Put
I
you
would
in
get
the
the spell
overcharge.
levels.
Yep, you could go into overcharge. So, but the other things like you don't have to worry about exhaustion levels if you've already used it so many times, that type of stuff. When you two are working that in tandem, you don't have to worry about it.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
So.
What's the standard healing? Is it 2d4?
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Can I just put all those potions into Phil's bottle?
Yeah, all the standard ones can. Yep.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, any standardized healing potion, no matter its level, can be dumped into your special bottles. The only ones that can't be are weird ones that Phil makes that come with extra properties.
So we could put the 3 standard 2d4 plus 2 into Phil's potion.
No, into the big bottle.
What's a big bottle?
It's the one Phil made you.
Yes, Phil's potion.
Right.
No, you
It
should not
depends
label
on
it as
the-
Phil's potion.
Right.
You should label that as something else because Phil makes other healing potions.
Are we talking about the enchanted vial?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have labeled.
Put it in your enchanted vial.
Yeah.
I don't have an enchanted vial.
You should.
You should.
Everyone does.
Well, you do.
I just
That's
labeled it as Phil's potion. Here's why I labeled this as Phil's potion, because Phil told me to label it as Phil's potion. Because
Never listen
otherwise
to
I wouldn't
Phil.
have labeled
Phil
it.
doesn't know what he's
listen
doing.
to Phil. That's really still your fault.
So just
Yeah,
Phil's enchanted
yeah.
vial.
Yes.
He got
And
you there.
That
Okay.
thing can hold as many D4s of healing potion as you want to put into it. So,
If I put a... Okay,
If you put the 3 standard potions into that, you will have 64 plus 6. That you can 6 charges of the 1d4.
yep.
Yeah.
So, and you could drink all of your charges at once if you wanted to, or you could just disperse them as needed.
All right.
I might get this up to like 1,000,000 and just chug it.
I mean, it's at 10d4 right now.
Yeah. So you can really crank into it, but you don't want to mix it up with Phil's other potions because those are the ones that glow and sometimes do funny things.
I had those labeled as different potions.
Okay. Just
Like,
as long
I
as
have-
they're separate. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. I get it.
All right. So anything else? Andy, you do get some more communique from the order, and the order
Okay.
does talk back to you. If for whatever reason, and maybe it was just a matter of opportunity, it really does seem like it was fiends that attacked the Northern Kren Monastery. It has been completely decimated. It's leveled, and the ground has been desecrated in the act as well. So, is there anything else you'd like to get a word or update from them on?
Matt would just want to know what the priority of removing that desecration would be.
Currently, the Isle of Unity is working on that. They're putting together a strike team worthy of such a thing.
Okay.
So,
Then not really.
yeah, that's not really in your pay grade at the moment. Anything else you guys want to do while you have this time? You did your crafting rolls. You've been hanging out around camp. They've been deciding who's going into the Underdark and who isn't.
Do we? I have never cared up until this campaign, I guess. But what's Talist's thing on gunpowder? Does gunpowder exist?
Yeah, it's out there. It's handguns and things like that are not common. Gunpowder is becoming more common. Cannons aren't yet, though. So you would find casks that get lit on fire by pirates and kicked into things to become a fairly common thing in the right areas. But the idea of cannoning and firearms is still pretty vague and rare, but they are out there. And some people do have them, and people are artificers and such are starting to figure out how to work with it. But right now it's a new tech.
Okay. What about small, like, handheld? I'm asking about grenades. What do you think about grenades?
I think I think you could have bombs if you want them.
Okay.
You got
bombs.
You got bombs!
How much would it cost for a couple of... I mean, and I don't even know what kind of damage it would do. 3d6, something like that, maybe? I don't know.
I got caltrops you can put in there. And
We just built claymores. We just built claymores.
Next drafting idea?
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna re-roll my things because I rolled it for enchanting. I want to do it tinkering actually, which is a different. Actually, no. I'll just add the difference in the bonus.
Okay. And you guys wouldn't be really up to speed on it because Orin didn't let you play with it ever. But you know that Orin had gunpowder. And you also know from war stories that he used it underground to collapse a valley of undead upon themselves.
Okay, that's kind of what I'm like wanting to use this for. Not necessarily like collapse everything because they've already collapsed it after them. But like in a pinch, if we're being chased and we need to collapse something, I would like to at least
have the ability to do so.
Have the ability to at least try. You know what I mean?
The army that you're with right now isn't really willing to give up much of its gunpowder. It would give you would be able to collect enough locally in the components to make one or two small, like you said, 2d6 bombs, but nothing that would be collapse worthy.
Sure.
They do say, however, once the gnomes get through the tunnels, whatever they have left would be pretty fair game.
Okay.
So,
and we're gonna the gnomes are gonna go forward, and then we'll go past them.
Yes, the gnomes. Their only job is to clear the tunnel.
Okay. Okay.
So once you
actually
show us how to make.
You go to ask them, and they start denying that they even have it.
These gnomes would know better. They would. They're still gnomes, but they would know better than to try and steal. That'd be a bad day for them. So there's that. Anything else? Filbert, you said you were keeping your eyes out for more scribables for your ritual book.
Yeah, there were only a couple, but I don't have any money anyway.
Which ones are you looking for?
The only thing I actually need left yet, after we've paid for a bunch of things, was dun, 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 dun. The Phantom Steed
Ah.
was the tool that I actually have left to need to buy.
Moreland, the leader of the Weave Guardians, doesn't have access to that one at the moment, and their wizard is out on a mission. So, but he says that he will try and get a scroll for you on your return.
Wonderful.
So, and yeah, what's up?
Go ahead.
I was going to see what
I was just
was doing, but he's eating. Like he looks like he's devouring an animal.
Okay. Could I tinker some caltrops into this little explosive?
No, because it's pretty small. And
No, because
caltrops
you don't like
are-
fun.
Well, I don't think that's it.
I'm trying to add some development to your skills here. Is what I'm trying
All right,
to do.
fair enough. Fair enough. Though.
The guy who I just gave bombs to out of nowhere just accused me of not letting him have fun.
I mean, if we want to talk realistic, bombs always get smaller because people learn their lesson.
That's
I haven't
not
learned my lesson yet.
untrue.
That's fine. I will take the. What did you say? 2d6, 3d6. What did you say?
2d6 in
2d6.
a 10-foot square.
10 foot. Okay, cool. How many? 2 of them?
Yep.
Do I have to pay for them or anything?
No, these you can have gratis because
Cool.
the military is trying to help supply you guys and get you guys as ready as you can be, but they're also they don't want to gimp their own mission.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does Azani have anything that she needs or wants?
Did what?
Azani, has she participated in conversations at all?
Not much. She's pretty broody at the moment.
Yeah. Well, she's a Red Rock, and the Red Rocks just took over the north. So she's kind of in enemy territory.
Yeah, and people have kind of treated her that way as well.
About time.
So
It's usually us.
She's been pretty quiet. She hasn't said much of anything at all. She does talk to you guys, but that's really about it. Other than that, she stays out of the way.
Okay.
Was there armor better than Splint available?
No, not for you.
Okay.
Most,
For other people, yeah, but
well, most of the time, the next step up from Splint is plate,
yeah, I
Which is
know.
Pricey, super
and
pricey.
so it's really pricey. So that's reserved for like generals and things.
Well,
like that.
I just wasn't sure, like, if I could ask and you'd throw in something like, yeah, there's
General
some, like,
Lothig.
reinforced Splint or something that, I don't know, like, if you would say anything, so I just thought I'd ask.
It never hurts to ask, but that's a big ask. That's like an
I mean, I know.
gold ask.
I know, and I knew what I was asking when I asked it, too, and I was going to be like, I don't know if they're getting, like, would let it go for a price, or...
They would do that, but knowing what you guys have cash wise, it's still out of your reach.
Yeah,
Hey, Mike, the whatever this thing is called, the items, weapons, has a bomb. It's Renaissance explosive, so it does 3d6, but I can drop that down to 2d6. What
Yeah.
it does is each creature within a 5-foot radius, whatever, is a DC 12 dexterity or takes the 2d6 fire damage.
Oh, I wasn't going
Is
to
that-
give him a save that on 2d6.
Okay.
That's
So I'll
why-
just take
otherwise,
that down then.
if we wanted to do the 3d6, then I would give him a save. But 2d6
Doesn't
no
matter to
save.
me.
I think you're
Doesn't
doing
matter to
better
me.
with 2d6 no save.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think. Maybe not. I don't
You
know if that
do.
math plays out or not. But
I
think it
believe
does.
you do because it's always 2d6. And DC 12. It's a little better than 50% that they fail, unless they
But
have a
it's not-
plus.
And it's not a half save. I mean, it's not half damage
Yeah.
if they save. It's no damage.
It's no damage.
Oh, then, yeah, you're better off with the straight 2d6 probably for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
All right, well, if you guys have got nothing else going on, there are a few more things that happen when you're getting ready to leave. The week goes on. Everybody's kind of sullen. There's actually a lot of crafting and tinkering going on. Danik, that's where you actually learn the basic skills of putting these bombs together. There is a cackling old one-eyed dwarf missing fingers who is
dear,
the explosive expert of the camp, and he's expert, and he's the one who instructs you that packing it full of stuff for amateurs is not a good idea. So he said, "You're gonna end up like me," and he puts his 4 fingers up.
She did the Pee-wee's Great Adventure. Big Adventure, where the driver is like, and she looked like this. That's what he did.
Man missing, last seen poking bomb. Yes. So there's a lot of activity going on. And then as you're preparing to head out, it's the morning comes. The teams are divided. It's almost exclusively dwarves. There is one human leading the Blood Spear team, and he has some enchanted goggles with him that allow him to see in the dark. And it looks like he is a fairly high-ranking officer and probably pulled rank to get this mission. Other than that, there's another team of dwarves. So there's the Blood Spears, the Flint Rocks, and then there's Team Mandible, which is being led by Ziz.
Yeah, Team Mandible.
These are the guys going with your group. The other two groups have fanned out, and they're getting ready to go to their respective cities. So that's what's going on there. And as you guys are getting ready, you're working with the 20 total people that are going. There starts to be a commotion at the far end of the camp. Everybody starts to kind of stand up and look around, and somebody yells that there's riders approaching. And so you head over towards the main path, and you see a bunch of people in armor coming in from the west. Some of the armor is like ridiculously shiny. Like there's a lot more plate mail style here than there is in your own groups, and it's definitely not Krennish. And they're flying a bunch of different banners, and one of them is a black griffin on a blue flag, and another one is a blue flag with a silver dragon on it, and then flying above them all is a wine red banner with the icon of a large gray wolf. And they start to say, that's the Knights of Argynvosts. You've heard some things of these guys. Some sort of do-gooders from New Barovia. Apparently they wouldn't even be around if it wasn't for the Emperor heading to their aid anyways. And so the dwarves around you are talking, and it's like, at least these Westerners know how to pay back a favor. And so you see these guys come riding in, and there's a couple of people at the head of the column that don't look like they're necessarily part of the Knights. There's this mongreled up beast-looking guy. He's a mess. You don't even think you'd take him as a slave.
I was like, who are we talking about? Oh,
you know.
He's making dinner.
Yep.
Don't play. Do not take that guy's ration.
There's another rider riding all in cloaked. Looks like an elf is there. A couple of guys riding like they might be royalty are riding through. And as you're watching this procession go through, you hear a husky feminine voice behind you that says, "You four look well. Glad to see Othic hasn't wasted the gift he was given." And Saint Kane, as you turn around and you see her, lip slightly turns up, maybe a smile. It's hard to tell with those eyes. They're just staring at you, and you don't know. And she says, I was grieved to hear the setback to your guild and the loss of your home. Again, I'll do my best to set that right. Your emperor's proven himself a friend on more than one occasion. The king would tell you that there's no debts between friends, but even still, Barovia owes one, and we mean to repay it. And then she puts a blessing on you. So, for the next week, you guys will have the effect of the bless spell on you.
Dang.
Oh, dude, for a week?
Andy, you want to go ahead and throw that on us?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, then she leaves.
Yeah.
She looked to see if anybody's going to say anything, and you were just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then
it's like when you meet that really, famous person, and you're just standing there like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, waving.
And
Like,
What
like
do you
Forrest
say to this
Gump.
person?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lieutenant
And then
Dan.
they just turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
Filbert's trying to figure out how he knows this lady.
She's just like, okay, bye.
Then all the other dwarves around you are like, by St. Cain's beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that lady doesn't have a beard.
She did until she raised your brother. No, that's not her brother. You're a cousin.
No, she still has a beard.
She has
She
a
has
celestial
inner-
beard.
She
Yes.
has inner beard.
She
Is it
sacrificed her
eyes?
earthly beard to bring Othing back from the
She
grave.
she has inner beard.
Huh.
Sounds like a condition.
No,
Right?
no.
Right. They
It's
have
one of the
records for
highest
that.
forms of flattery in regards to a beard.
All right. Fancy. Yeah, that's really cool. I like it.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do then?
Man, I don't know.
At this point, just get ready to go.
Okay. That sounds good to me. So you guys get ready to go. Each group is paid a visit by the Emperor and his entourage. And you are introduced to King Titanbrook and Count Marlamir. And you already met Lady Kane. The Emperor has his main Reaper with him at the moment, Felindor. He's hanging out with him.
Oh, I wasn't aware he was a Reaper. All
I
right.
wasn't either until right now, and I thought that made sense.
Yeah, no, it totally does.
How does Phil feel about the Reaper standing right there?
Yeah. Out of character, is Felindor the one who killed him?
Phil poofs.
Phil, you do poof. You're talking to people, and there are several Reapers in this camp who you've been talking to, and this is great. I'm so glad you rolled that. There is one that walks up to you and tries to apologize for stabbing you. And the minute you hear his voice, you're gone. And then everybody else hears this Reaper wandering away of saying, well, if he'd have done that a year ago, he wouldn't have been dead.
Oh, God.
Oh wow,
Filbert.
that's too
Poof.
funny.
And then, I don't know, he probably turned into a rat or something.
Don't get stepped on.
He's currently actually hiding in Thanek's armor as a rat. That's where Phil poofed to. He,
Wonderful.
like, mid-poofed, turned into a rat and just appeared in Thanek's armor. So I'll just be there for a little while.
So they all come by. They wish you luck and the blessings of free people everywhere and all that jazz. And unless anybody wants to strike up any interesting thoughts or conversations, they'll make their way on to the next group.
Do we have any questions for Titanbrook? He is a king, after all. Maybe he
Well,
knows
your
our
emperor
queen
is
that
there,
has the
too.
weapon.
Yeah, but he's not my king. I mean,
Right.
no offense to Gabe
Also
or anything, but
has
I
a
didn't vote for him.
gnarly hand.
Yeah.
He does still at this point have a very gnarly hand.
Oh, dang.
Well, he would keep that gloved. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
not. He might not care anymore.
He
No,
would have
Gabe
loved.
would not. And he would walk around pointing it at people.
I can turn you to jelly.
Yeah.
I think the only we still can't talk about the Queen's Labyrinth, or I would ask questions about that. But we have
Yeah.
people who might be able to answer some sort of question as to like larger things. Do we have any questions about the larger things? I mean, Titanbrook seems to be a good wizard. Maybe he has something that he could give us some legend lore on or something.
He is notoriously the most powerful wizard in the world.
Do we want to ask him any questions or for any favors or to scry on something?
I just picture a random peasant walking up to a king and being like, "Yo, dude, can
Yeah.
you do me a favor?"
We're not random.
Can you give me a solid here?
We are a spectacular entourage that was asked for by the capital city. We ran a guild. We're known people.
Yeah, but not by
Okay,
them.
But in like the grand scheme of the world,
No, Filbert definitely believes that we're important.
See, right here is how Dennis Rodman and Kim Jong-un became best friends.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
This is what happened. It was
This is
moment.
exactly what happened.
Well, you guys aren't going to ask. I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask because I know he's powerful. I'm going to attempt to ask him about the Queen's Labyrinth and see if his magics overcome the magics and stop us from talking about it.
You go up to him and you just start spouting gibberish.
That's
You're attempting to talk about the Queen's Labyrinth and you can't. And he just kind of looks at you and you hear a soft chuckle behind you. And Lady Kane thinks it's the funniest thing in the world watching this happen. And Gabriel doesn't know what to do with any of it. And he just kind of pats you on the head and looks at the Emperor, who just shrugs and says, "They fight well."
Filbert is just
Baz
kind of looking
laughing.
around. He'll just shrug.
Oh my gosh!
Like old man shrug.
What great imagery!
I'll just walk up and just kind of grab Phil by the shoulders and turn him around and like, sorry. Just
So as you grab Filbert and turn him around, and there is an old lady standing in front of you. And she has a withered look about her. And everybody's kind of looking. And she looks at Filbert and kisses him on the forehead and says, "Be careful when you speak to the Queen." And then she walks off.
Buh. Who the heck was that?
Did she ask us if we wanted to draw a card to see our fate?
no,
Yeah, right.
no. But do we recognize her?
I thought it was
Is she
Granny at
from-
first.
Is she from our commoner days?
Mm-mm. You have no idea who this lady is.
Okay, all right.
Nobody
I'll
else seems
turn back
bothered by
around
her
to the-
presence. At least the Barovians don't seem bothered by her presence.
Right. I'm gonna look at the Barovians and be like, "Y'all know this lady? Because the last time I got kissed, like a week later, I died."
Yeah.
Kane would tell you that's still a possibility.
Filbert just kind of puts his hands in his cloak and just kind of like slumps behind Thanak. Nobody's gonna tell me who this lady is. All right.
She is currently the madam of the Vistani clan from Barovia.
So that is Madame Eva.
She's dead. Madam Eva's dead. This is the one who took over for her.
Right.
Do we know
So this
what
is-
a Vistani is? Do we? Are they foreign?
You would
to us?
have some vague idea of who the Vistani are. They are not welcome in the Kren Empire, but you would have some lore of the gypsies who tell fortunes and lead people down ill paths. You especially
Yep.
would.
I imagine we probably don't have good relations with
I'm
them
gonna guess
at
the
all.
Fae don't either.
Nope.
So, all right, because they're the Vistanis are one of the only ones that are actually powerful enough to leave the Fae without having issues too,
Yes.
right?
They come and go through
Yeah.
the plains as they will.
Yeah, the Fae don't like that. So everything I've heard about them is bad, and one just kissed me, so I'm definitely gonna die. Filbert's like counting down his days now. 6. He has 6 days left.
Good news is, once you have blessed until you die. Bad news is, when you lose bless, you're dead.
Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. Oh, man. Filbert's putting this in his notes. 6 days.
All right. Anything else you boys want to do before you head to Versula?
I don't think so.
Oh,
There's nothing
Lady Kane.
She turns around.
We irritated a god. Can you help us with that?
Oh, good call. Good call.
She kind of looks at you, and
I've been dreaming about fish, and I can't taste anything but caviar when I wake up.
she audibly laughs, which is a sound most people don't hear unless something really bad is happening to somebody.
yeah.
You do what? And she looks over at the other three of you. It's just particularly Mav. She's like, "What is he talking about?"
The blah 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 blah. The Kotua god.
They stole an idol from the bottom of the
They-
ocean.
Yeah.
What do you mean, they?
Everyone turns on Mav immediately. Immediately turns on Mav.
And there was a discussion on whether or not we fight the thing that was going to eat us.
The beast.
Long of the short of it is, someone may have stolen the idol of another god.
No, that's not why we're in trouble. We desecrated her temple. We took all this stuff.
And took the idol.
No, the idol she didn't care about. I'm betting money on it.
Okay, we also slaughtered all the younglings.
That happened.
Oh.
It was the octopus. They did it.
She said, well, put it back.
It's on the other side of the country.
And we don't currently have it.
Again, the laughter. Okay.
Can we put it at a different shrine?
So she says, find me later. Because the group is moving on. So later that evening, you spend some time with Lady Kane. She says, you are definitely cursed by blah, 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 blah.
Excellent.
She said, you need to find a way to deal with this soon. You're being transformed.
Guess we won't need that necklace after all.
Mutant and proud.
She looks very concerned for you. She's like,
make us a shrine.
You're going to become Kuatoa. Well,
I blame Othig.
This blame doesn't lay solely on me.
No, but primarily.
I'm gonna just throw this out there. When your DM says after one of your players uses detect magic and he says, yes, the statue is magical, and you completely ignore that and pick up all of the treasure, you should probably never ignore that.
Huh.
Just saying.
It's fair.
We should have taken the statue.
Well, if you take the statue and you keep it with the treasure, then you actually haven't stole the treasure. You just move things around. It's like those people from Seymour that stole the Golden Retriever statue from that lady's house and took it on the road trip with them and took pictures of it everywhere and brought it back and put it back with the pictures. She was no longer mad.
Yep, that happened. Do we have to put it at the same shrine, or can we just put it at any shrine? Can we go find her directly?
Oh.
Can you send us there?
Oh, no, don't do that.
Okay.
That'd be bad. You'd have to go to the plane of water to find her.
We got a necklace.
Conveniently, when we become Kotua, we'll be able to breathe there.
Conveniently. I can delay this, but your best bet is to find a way to appease her.
Great. Well,
Is there a map around?
A map? Yeah, there's a lot of maps around.
Can I? What is the? Hold on. Let me real quick look. What's the name of the map of the
Northern Trend.
No, the whole continent of Cringe. That's what I'm looking at.
That is, I don't remember.
It's the continent of Cringe. So we are there.
You're a long ways away.
Yeah. This thing doesn't have. The map of Cranshet doesn't have names on it.
Correct.
But after we're done here, if we sail, is that where it is, or was it over? I thought it was over furthermore. Mm-mm. Okay. So we could sail. Jeez. We'd have to sail.
And it is definitely now in occupied territory.
Well, Lady Kane, do you have the ability to contact another deity, or would your deity get mad at you? Are you a deity?
She's just rubbing her head. She has that look of dealing with 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest one in this entire circle at the moment.
Yes. Sort of,
Yep.
yes.
And yet,
And yet,
Um,
do you know I'm Fey touched?
yes.
yes, everybody knows.
There's no problem identifying that.
Gosh, yeah, I would ask her if she has the ability to, on our behalf, ask this deity for a mission for us from it, and if possible, something that we could do for it in the Underdark near where we are.
That's awfully specific and convenient.
Can we appease you by doing something very convenient for us?
I'm all about picking up multiple quest tokens at once and then turning them all in, right?
Are you actually talking about converting?
Filbert has no god. He's all right with everyone.
So you were wanting to go on a conversion mission.
Phil's all right with that, yeah.
You want to
Be careful, you might turn into a fish.
Listen,
You're asking one of the high priests of the order what you can do to become another faith.
No, she just told us we have to make it happy with us. We're trying to get our what's it called, back to neutral by killing people in Booty Bay. That's what we're trying to
Reputation?
do. We're trying to get a reputation back to neutral after we got our Booty Bay rep.
we have maps of the Underdark, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does the water connect there?
No. I was going to get to that a little bit later, but I'll explain it some more. Basically, the Underdark, it's a giant cavern, but it's a mile-tall cavern from the ground of it to the ceiling. There's places, and there's a substantial amount of earth between the bottom of the ocean and the Underdark where it comes through. The places where you see mountains in the Underdark are typically pillars that rise up and meet the cavern ceiling. So they're mountains, but they're not mountains with peaks.
Okay.
So in the map, they do not correspond, although they do share some similarities, and you'll find in Underdark areas where there's a sea, oftentimes there's a sea above leaking down into it. Or nearby, that type of stuff. Same with volcanoes, but not always.
Wait a minute. This is terrible. What did you just say? Did you say there's areas where the sea is leaking in?
Yeah.
Can we drown the Underdark?
There's places it's leaking out to.
This is also true.
Yeah.
If you blow a hole to widen the leaking, do you drain the ocean?
It's like a tub now.
It's like Terraria. It's like Terraria or Minecraft.
You know, you're going to make me apologize to Cowboy, because he said that you guys get to do all the world-changing events, and I said, no, right now these guys have only been victims of world-changing events. Everybody else has screwed them over.
Wait for us to get our revenge.
If he comes
You
over
wanted to
tomorrow
say out there is no ocean.
to play in his campaign, right after they get back and find out there's a new planet, it's their characters, and now the next day the ocean is gone. He's gonna be mad.
There's a giant toilet bowl in the middle of it.
Yep. Right down the drain.
It's called a maelstrom.
No, there is a maelstrom out in the sea that everybody knows pulls down into the Underdark. You do believe you would probably create another one of those. It would cause massive calamity to the seaside towns of the surface, but in theory, it could be done.
R4 level 6 characters.
Little cannon.
They spent so much time trying to figure out if they could. They never stopped to ask if they should.
They were just all concerned about doing something worthy of song.
Yeah.
We were going to make an orbital cannon. Somebody figured it out before us. So instead, we're going to drain the ocean.
This is how real terrorists respond. It's like they summon a planet, we drain the ocean. That's how we do it.
That's the Chicago
Not
way.
taking this crap lying down.
Yeah.
You're in Chicago now.
Will not be upstaged.
So yeah, at the end of that conversation, just finding out if there's anything that if she can give us any insight as to what to do, or maybe by the time we get back, have something figured out or something.
There's a point in the conversation where she leans forward and she says, "You're lucky you're speaking to the most unconventional Claire to have walked the planet."
Are you a Bastion?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not like everyone else.
No.
And
True. Everyone else has eyes.
Not everybody.
not everybody.
She had eyes.
She did. She did have them at one point.
And she says, "I'll see what I can do."
Giggity. Filbert is totally satisfied with this, and he takes off his ambassador garb.
She looks at everybody else as Filbert's leaving. He's like, "Why does he put that on?" Every time I show up, he's putting sticks on his head.
Yeah, it just makes me feel good. That's
It's in the
kind of-
Fae you have to, or you don't get an audience.
I just want to say how weird it is for people to be saying Kane and me not to answer.
Mm-hmm. It's
I was
fun to
waiting
guess
for
at
you.
what you'd all do, too.
Yeah.
Which I think is fun.
I just really enjoy repeatedly saying Lady Kane, watching Adam just like cringe.
No,
All
it's
right.
just like stop talking. I can't answer. Don't respond. So that being said, I think it would be in our best interest if after we finish this on the Underdark to immediately start planning a mission back to Lake wherever that
To
is.
Angel Lake.
Yeah.
It's off. It's just slightly east of what was it, Mariasi?
Mariasi.
Yeah, it's
Southeast. The arrow
Yes.
is not indicative to where the
But that's
was.
but it's that's
that's
the lake.
Yep.
southeast, and it's right in that body of water, right off of that room town.
The problem is getting from the shore of the North Kren to the lake without being in occupied territory.
I really think we should try to see if Phil can talk. We didn't get her name, but try to see if we can get her attention somehow. Maybe ask her if she would give us that water blessing.
Yeah,
The
we
Fey
just got to
lady?
figure out how to. Yeah, we just got to figure out how to get to her first.
Yeah,
Oh, I know right where she is. She told us where she stays.
Yeah,
So, and she said if we're ever in big trouble, we can come and find her.
well, I think this
It's
would
always a big cost.
qualify some big.
It might.
And she
qualify
didn't.
as
She
big.
didn't tell us about this when we were by her, and I think that's
Yeah.
bogus. She probably thought it was funny. Fair jerks.
no, we didn't know that we took the thing, but we didn't know we were cursed at the time because we didn't start dreaming of fish until after we left her.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Mhm.
She knew.
But she may have known. She may have known. That being said, that's a problem for future us.
It's true. Cool. That's a future problem for Kotuas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really sucked that we didn't have an ocean to swim in, guys.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. What if we brought the Graniteback clan to the Kotua?
And you all became Koatua?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And
we
we
did
just-
want to be pirates. This is perfect.
Yeah.
We're gonna be Kotua pirates.
It's like
Yeah.
we're gonna exile our family with us to the water, and no one will ever find us
Crazy.
because
Fish people.
no one will ever think to search the depths of the seas for
It'll be like
missing
Shrek.
Granite
Yeah,
Back
it'll be
family
like
enslaved
Shrek.
group.
We'll think we need to get ourselves saved from being Kotua, and we find out we were really Kotua all along.
Our entire mission could be to destroy the Red Rock-born clan. So, like any ship they send out, we attack it.
Yeah.
We attack a ship. We ask first question: "Are you a Red Rock?" No. Okay. Sorry. Have a nice day. We'll see you later.
Burn the Red Rocks down by any means possible.
Even
To
by
any
becoming
length.
Kuatoa.
I'm so glad this is recorded because I'm going to listen to this like 6 times later.
Good time. All right, so the next day you guys set out and head. To the east, the journey's pretty quick by the road. You guys are given mounts that achieve a solid amount of haste across the country, and you get to Virasula, and there are just gnomes everywhere. The city is, for the most part, ruined. There's a few buildings still standing here and there. The Kren don't build tall for the most part. 2 stories is a pretty big building, unless it's a royal building or a governmental building. But there aren't any buildings more than a story standing, though. A lot of them have been burned. You see multiple cracks in the earth as you approach the city. Looks like that's where the drow came up out of, and then they sealed them on their way back in. There is an enormous dust cloud coming up out of the center of town. And as you approach it, you find just gnomes. It's like a sea of gnomes running in and out of this hole, carrying buckets of dirt. And every once in a while, they all scream something about fire and holes. And then there's a ground shaking. And they all start laughing and run back in the hole.
Nice.
That's a very efficient way to do that. I love it.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I just had a great visual of this. It's the desert. It's hot. Most of the gnomes are wearing no clothes because it's hot. If you've watched the Chernobyl series that HBO just released, just found out that's what all the miners did who had to dig under it to install the heating or the cooling exchange under Chernobyl, so it didn't blow up Eastern Europe. They wouldn't give them fans because it would kick radioactive dust back up into the air, so they all worked naked around the clock.
Those people got extra limbs.
Dude, that's like one of the coolest and saddest things I've ever watched in my life is how stupid the Soviets were when that thing went off.
Yeah.
And how they were talking if the rest of the reactor would have blown, it would have blown up from where Chernobyl is all the way to West Germany.
Yeah.
Like, gone, irradiated, nobody living there for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And how
crazy.
different the world would be.
Yep. It was absolutely nuts, and how close they actually came because how stupid they were about. They didn't want anybody in the world to see them as weak, so they just they pretended it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was mind-boggling. Anyways, that's where these naked gnomes come from. And they're running in and out of this hole. One of them walks up to you. He's smoking a big cigar, standing there naked in all of his gnome glory, and wants to know if you're the team going in the hole. He starts laughing, and he taps his cigar off, and he's like, "You better be careful answering that question around here today."
Yep.
2 hours, and we'll be through. So,
All right.
Okay.
Ziz is looking around. Ziz looks uncomfortable. He
Is
thrums
this with us, or is
Yeah,
he with a different group?
He's leading one of the teams in your group. There were 3 teams,
Oh,
all
right,
divided
of
into
20.
4 teams. Yep. And so he's leading Team Mandible. He kind of pulls on the side of Othig's clothes and looks at the gnomes and looks at Othig's clothes, and then puts his hands in the air. It's definitely his version of what the heck.
That's great.
Is Ziz wearing clothes?
No, Ziz doesn't wear clothes.
He's a bug.
He's a bug.
I didn't wear clothes.
But he knows squishy people like you need to wear clothes.
True.
So-
Filbert is going to participate in the fun.
Filbert takes his clothes off and runs into the hole.
Yep, he wants to help.
He comes running back out a little while later with a cigar. You don't know where he got it from.
In a bucket.
What?
When in Rome, I just yell that as I run past. Or
About
when in Rome, I guess.
every 2 hours for the next day, the crew chief tells you about another 2 hours. And so you guys are sitting around waiting. Everybody's getting a little impatient. And then there is a rumble in the ground, and a whole bunch of the side of the hole that they're digging begins to cave in. And there you hear laughing, like hysterical laughing coming from down in this hole. and no gnomes for a little bit, but then they all come crawling up out of the dirt, and they're all laughing about 2 hours, and one of them says, 2 hours times 65! And they all laugh some more, and they crawl out, and they just start walking off into the desert. Filbert, you know because you were in the hole, they have made it through.
Okay. I'll on their way out, as they're leaving, I'll ask if there's any more gunpowder.
They point towards one of the buildings over there. And they're like, not much. We thought we were gonna run out, but you could probably put a good one on somebody with what's in there.
All right.
And
How much is left?
You find a whiskey cask full, so about 6 pounds of it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Like one of those desktop casks. You know?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
How many days later are we?
You're 3, but I'm gonna start your blessing once you go in the hole. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna spend it on nothing. That's not fun.
Gotcha. I'm more worried about I had 6 days, now I have 3 part. That's all. We're good.
That's so funny. Not even what was said, but okay.
Gilbert's gonna die.
All right. Filbert comes out of the hole, knows that they've made it through.
Yep. I'll let everybody know.
Let's get going.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, so your team begins to work its way down, and you realize that the gnomes attempted to carve stairs and landings in as they worked spirally down this hole. It didn't work really well in all the places, so the going's pretty slow and treacherous, but it changes. The ground texture changes from a normal, like, every inch or so sedimentary, like, style dig to long spans of hardened rock. And then it moves through different layers of volcanic rock and other things like that. And then the tone and the lighting of everything changes. And after about another hour or so of that heading down, you guys cross into the Underdark. Now you have the map that I shared on Discord the other day. But from way up on the spirally column, it looks like the gnomes blew out the side of one of the Underdark mountains in the range, and this is what you're looking at. So the large, thick mountain range to the east of you guys and to the south, that's all solid. There's you could maybe make your way through some of it, but it's very weird. You know, obviously slit-shaped valleys because the mountains column up to the ceiling, and all that type of stuff. But it doesn't look like it's normally passable terrain. Out to the west,
Where did we come out?
the Versula drop point.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
So you guys came out there, not too far from where you're at. About another mile down the mountainside, you can see a river. Far off to the north and is another river, and they both head west. You can make out some of it to where I've given you this much of the map. You can see a volcano not too far away to the west. It looks to be about 20 miles to the coast from where you're at.
Do we see any cities?
You do not. And the map that you were given before you came down here definitely led you to believe that this area of the Underdark was not settled.
Oh.
It's very close to Myconid territory, which is on the other side of the mountains that you came down in.
Myconids?
Mm-hmm. You do see several large mushroom forests, a lot of them right in this area nearby. So there could be some nearby. But you know that the other side of that is their territory.
Gilbert is very excited.
So all 4 teams came down in this area, and then we're going to split up and go different directions. Is that
yes.
right? Okay.
You guys were all given right before you departed. Each team, the lead team. So you guys have this one and the lead team one. The lead team one was given messenger pouches. You can write a message and drop it in this pouch, and it will be duplicated in somebody else's pouch.
It's a nice little fax machine.
Yeah, it's basically an old school fax machine. You have one that connects to each of your teams. So the three teams that came with you, you also have one that connects to the other two main teams. So you have an Agara one and what's that other town? I don't remember the other town's name. Gosh.
The other one.
Yep. So yeah, you have those two, and your own groups pouches as well. So you can communicate with your groups and the other main groups.
I assume probably won't matter, but I think Mav, you should probably hang on to that.
Sure. That way can just absorb the magic when it's coming.
Yeah.
That time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry, no facts right now.
Hey, somewhat unrelated.
What was that?
What about can you absorb cantrips?
No.
Okay. So do we know which way we're going, or do we just pick a direction?
You need to examine the area where you believe the drow came down, which you're guessing you're pretty close to it because you followed down one of their shafts and holes for the most part.
Yeah.
And figure out what to do once you arrive at that area. You do have messages from the Agara and Talpoit groups, and they both tell you that they've arrived in the Underdark and they're dispersing their teams. Nothing real interesting yet, but
we should reciprocate a message of the same kind.
Yeah.
So since we're on they came through this way, so look for tracks. Try to find signs of travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do some survival checks.
So as we fan out.
Please do. As you guys come down the mountainside, do some survival checks. That's pretty good.
Perception.
Cool.
No, you're looking for tracks, so it's definitely
just
survival.
where we're going.
Yeah.
Filbert understands Underdark surveillance and starts putting his face on the ground and just dragging it across footprints.
So here's the deal. Most of you struggle with this a great deal. Even Filbert, you realize you're going to have a hard time with this. Ziz, whose people are native to Underground and to some degree the Underdark, has a hard time with it as well. Filbert, you recognize what's happening here. You're in a massive patch of sleepers fungus. And this isn't a dangerous fungus, but it grows extraordinarily quickly. And a lot of cultures in the Underdark harvest this stuff. They use it like a carpet in their bedrooms because people who sleep in this area are extraordinarily well rested.
Filbert is going to collect a bunch of this so he can grow some later.
Okay.
Ooh, would it have any reagent properties?
It would. It would have the sleep property.
I would like to harvest some for that as well.
Okay, that will... You'll spend some crafting points to get that. So knock 25 off, and you can have 25 per 5 uses.
Okay.
But unfortunately, because of how fast it grows, the area is very well covered. You do find that it does look like there were war camps stationed here. There are things like fire pits and other stuff like that around the area that are easy to pick up. But as far as being able to track which way people came from or went, it's very difficult. There is a road that goes north and south. There is a mushroom forest straight to the west, and there is the river to the west as well. There's all viable possibilities.
We were able to kind of see the lay of the land as we came down, correct?
Yes, that's why I gave you the map.
Okay. So what if we headed through here and then down?
That's the forest.
There?
Yep.
So that's a mushroom forest?
That's a mushroom forest where Ryan just drew his arrows through.
Filbert is all about that.
So this is the point where you'd send your other 3 teams off someplace. You would send
Or
Team Mandible.
another one would be
Team Flint Rock, Blood Spear. Going south would be the South Road. There's the river.
I'd say that we take the road.
The north. There's the North Road, the river, the South Road, and the fungal forest.
you want to take a road. You said.
Yeah, why don't we take a road?
Why don't we take the South Road then?
Why don't we take the road south? So that we're going towards the bone fields. We can send one team north and one team west.
And then one.
How many teams do we have?
You have 3 other teams.
And then, yeah, one team the other way.
So
Was that?
one team down the river, one team to the Mushroom Forest, and one team north.
Yep.
Any particular thoughts on who goes where, or do you just want to send them?
Just send them.
Yeah, I think just send them there.
I would say observe and report only.
Okay. All right, so we'll just send Team Mandible north. Ziz goes north. The Flint Rocks go to the Mushroom Forest.
Is there any reason to think that the hostages who we're trying to rescue would be grouped up all together or broken up? Would there be any reason to think either one?
Both are possibilities. The hostages, and there would likely be a lot of them, because after the original attacks, there were no bodies found. And as far as like the style of the attacks and the amount of blood that was left behind where there was signs of fighting, it was minimal. It looks like this was almost exclusively a capture mission. So there are, between these 3 cities, there are tens of thousands of people that were dragged down here. And so you would think they would probably have to split these people up to some degree. Taking a group that large would be dangerous.
Right.
Does anybody know why they're capturing people?
It's pretty common of the Underdark races to raid and capture slaves. Yeah, they're Drow and Duergar both are notorious slavers.
Right.
Okay.
Just not in this volume.
Yeah, they'll raid villages and take them as slaves for sacrifices or for house pets, all sorts of different sadistic purposes.
I thought you were asking like if we were specifically told that, but I don't believe that was part of the conversation.
It wasn't, but that would be kind of generally assumed. Otherwise, they would have just killed everybody and left the bodies if they were just after a slaughter.
Okay.
But finding out the answer to that question, I think, is why we're down here. Also, is finding out where they took everybody, right?
It is.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, not just where, but like, I mean, if possible, bring them back.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So your team split up, and they head off in their different directions, and you guys head down the South Road, which immediately begins to slope downward and starts to look very broken. However, once you get out of the fungal area, you do pick up a substantial amount of recent foot traffic headed south. So, Filbert, or somebody give me another survival check.
I'll do it. I think I'm the only one with survival, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does, what's her name? Hazani have it or no? I have nobody that gives advantage, correct?
I don't know if Hazani does or not. Let me look real quick.
Okay.
She does not.
Okay. So that's all we get.
You have no idea. The tracks do look recent, and there are a lot of them.
Yep.
And that's all we got.
Well, I guess we'll do our best to follow them.
Yeah, because we're out of the area with that quick mushroom group. So now we can actually see that there's just a bunch of tracks going in a direction.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
You can indeed.
All right.
South Road.
It's a shame we don't have anybody with us who has guidance.
It wouldn't have helped that a whole lot.
Well,
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's so
I have
funny.
guidance. I just can't use
I
it
know
on
you.
myself.
I know you do. That's why I said it that way.
So you guys continue to as best to follow the road, and right about here, the road kind of disappears. It's just no longer there. It looks like this was an old road. However, the tracks have continued. Make perception checks for me.
Walkie talkie.
Oh my god.
It begins again.
Pretty bad.
As soon as Andy leaves, that's what it is. Andy leaves, we start rolling like garbage.
He takes all the luck with him.
Yep.
So let's see. Thanak, you're the only one who notices it, and you barely.
Which is ridiculous, by the way. I just want to be clear.
We don't Mav. If Mav wasn't sleeping, wake up, Mav.
You're not even quite sure you saw it. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You guys, once you get down here, the entire area has a little bit of a glow to it. There is fungus that glows, that covers the ceiling. It covers a lot of the rocks, but it glows just enough to not even make it dim light. So it's kind of like trying to make your way
It's like a
around.
lightning bug.
It's like making your way around your house at night when there are no lights on. So it's definitely dark, but it's not pitch black. So Thanak, nope, he left again. Nope, no perception check from Mav. We're just gonna go.
Mav will get a perception check. He was just turn on the light. We'll use that first one.
Yeah, okay. Mav, you get a good look at it. Thanak, you barely catch this. You look up and there's a very short man. He's not a dwarf. He's too skinny to be a dwarf. Standing off to the side by the rocks. And then Thanak, you just swear he's gone. Mav, you watched him slip into the rock? He kind of just stepped back and became one with the rock.
Mav would let them know what he saw.
Othig decides to go look around the.
Carefully, I'll go with him.
Okay. Do any of you have gems on you?
I don't think
No.
so.
No, I don't think we.
Those are all in the house.
Yeah.
It's true. You already stole them, Mike. You can't steal them again.
Make perception checks again for me.
It would depend on what you would consider like Tinker's tools.
This is totally a 16. Got robbed.
What do you say? What did you say?
Perception.
Perception.
Again.
Perception.
There we go.
Mav.
There we go.
You're looking around for this guy. Othig's like poking at the rock that you said he melded into, and he's standing next to you and he's digging in your pockets. And he sees you look at him, and he just very plainly doesn't look mischievous, looks like just flatline personality, and says, "Do you have any gemstones?" And his mouth barely moves. He's kind of got like an alien-looking gray head, except he's brown and really wrinkly, and his eyes are very low set in his head, and they're squinty, and they're just pale, and they glow a little bit.
I would reply, no.
Very well. And he melds right back into the rock.
That's
Okay.
a really cool trick.
Mav is going to pull out the Wand of Secrets and use it.
Ooh.
Does it detect illusions?
Nope. You can see within 30 feet of you a secret door or a trap.
Nope. There are no secret doors or traps nearby.
Okay. That's what I figured.
Huh.
But okay.
This does actually remind me. When anybody uses detect magic, does it light up the area just for the person casting it, or
Yep.
for everybody around them?
Just for the person casting it. Mav, make
Okay.
another perception check for me. You can make this at advantage because this guy was just digging in your pockets and that would weird you out, obviously. Your Pearl of Power is missing.
Of course it is.
Great. So I'll cast Detect Magic. It's a ritual. It takes 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I'll start doing that.
Just
Oh,
beyond
you're taking
you.
10 minutes to do it? That's going to take too long.
Well, I can only do it as a ritual.
I know.
Can anybody else do it?
Nope.
I don't think
Okay. So, 10 minutes later, Thanak gets his ritual off, and there is an illusionary barrier around the rocks in this area, and just on the other side of these rocks, there is a small village of these beings. And they're all looking at the pearl, and a bunch of little ones come running up to it and begin to rub it and touch it.
Well, let's go get your rock, Mav.
You guys, hold on just a second. Mav is going to walk in without the other three.
Okay. So they all look very frightened when you walk in through their illusionary barrier. You come in and you move in a way that they know, you know that there's an illusion there. And now that you've passed through it, it dispels itself for you. And they look, body language wise, scared. But they're still pretty flatlined. So even in fear, they're kind of just like, oh no, he's come for us.
What language did they speak before?
They spoke common. You feel like they spoke. You feel like they weren't speaking common, but you were hearing common.
Do I think they speak Undercommon?
Most likely.
Okay, well, the Mav's going to speak in Undercommon
Okay.
because that's on his language list.
Oh, cool.
And he's going to say that he'll count to 3 and he wants it back.
Please, the children will starve if we do not feed them.
Gems?
Gemstones. This magical one will feed us for a year.
Guys,
I love the
You wanna-
idea that
You
Mav
want to
just
roll
laughs
insight
at
on that? I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just saying, like,
Looking at them, they look emaciated. They're skinny and gross looking, but you don't know, that just might be how these things look.
well, here's a good dilemma for you.
well, there's a question.
Yeah. You want to let this thing go, or you want to, mow him down like?
I would ask him if
Second-class
there's a
citizen.
source of gems somewhere near here that we get them gems and
Oh my
not
gosh,
lose our items.
Mav, they stole your rock. This is simple and straightforward. Burn the whole place down.
I'm collecting quest tokens for Phil.
You know, it'd be great if we got cursed a second time.
And the 3 of us aren't here for this. We're
No,
still
I know we can't. No, we can see them, but we can't hear it. I mean, we can't understand it. They're speaking Undercommon.
Yep. They would say
Okay.
Yeah, once you guys broke the illusionary barrier and figured out it was there, it kind of just dissipated.
I thought you said just for Mav.
It's like it's still there, but we can see through it, but we can tell that it's an illusion.
Once you knew it's an illusion, it's easier to see through. But it is right now. It's like looking through Jello. So
Yeah.
it's
These creatures were looking for gemstones. The only thing, so Phil doesn't have gemstones. The only thing he would have are those purple crystals I have. I still have enough to make 1 vial, which would be 10.
Mm-hmm.
Would that classify as a gemstone?
We'll get to that. So Mav asked them if there were any gemstones here, and they say at one point in time, this land was rich with gemstones, and now it is a wasteland.
Who took the gems?
Everyone else. We did. We consumed them. Now there's only a few left.
I would ask him if there's anybody that came here recently of the Drow.
Yes. A large group with several surface dwellers. Many surface dwellers came through.
Are you telling us this,
Within
or are
the
you
week.
just having this conversation?
I'm just having this conversation right now.
Okay, then I'll withhold what I was going to say.
Mav would offer the Pearl Power in exchange for them taking us to the Drow.
You read my mind.
We,
It's his choice, dude.
Vanek needs to dispense some justice here.
Clearly.
Thanik will have his opportunity for justice dispensement.
That's true. That is also very true.
We already ticked off one god. We don't need the weird.
so
Oh, yeah. You don't want a second curse?
the creature
What's our sense of
looks
adventure?
like it's about to answer that question, and that's when Phil holds out the crystals and, do they want this? and the one you're talking to, his eyes shift over, and you swear just for a second there's pupils in them. Filbert, you feel a force pulling that out of your hand.
I will attempt to not let go of it.
Okay, make a strength check. Please be bad.
Please be bad.
Oh, man. That's a 12
that's a
with no
12.
modifiers. It's not bad.
So you hold on to it, and then all of a sudden it lurches, and you slide forward in the dirt a little bit. And he's like, "We will not take you to the Drow, but I will lead you past the rust monsters in exchange for those crystals."
And we can have the magic one back.
Yes. And you hear other ones say no, and he's like, "Yes, for the crystals."
Can I make an insight as to why he really wants those? If they're like prime rib or something, like these are his favorite food. Ooh, that's good. 23 total.
Maybe just ask him.
He is very excited about that. Everybody else is really not everybody else. There are others there that look equally excited by it. There's definitely a division in the camp. But you have no idea what these creatures are like. So even at a 23 to discern that kind of motive, although as questions are asked about this, I'll give you more information because you're inciting it so well.
Okay.
But you can't put two and two together right now for this.
Given the excitement they had for this and the fact that they stole the pearl, and these are obviously in the bag of holding, so they're harder to find. They didn't whiff this out, but now he really wants it. I would ask him flat out, why are you so interested in these crystals?
He would hang his head a little low, and a couple of the others would turn away and not look at you, and he would say, "Reproduction."
Huh. But more people means less food, isn't that? Never mind. I'm not helping the cause if I help you be smart. I will accept this deal if Mav can have his pearl back.
I think it was a valid question to gain a little bit more insight on.
Yeah.
And that was a suitable option, but
yeah,
I'm kind of curious. But
it's true. Yeah, we don't have anything else that would equate as a gemstone, so
I don't think so.
I would ask them, is gems and crystals and that kind of inorganic material the only thing you guys can eat?
Yes. And
I would hope. Okay.
We don't eat like most organics do. We consume essence. It looks like he's searching for the right word. And honestly, as he's doing that, you feel like he's digging around in your head for the right word.
Oh, that's cool.
And he responds with the word energy.
Okay. Would I know if, as living beings, if something like a good berry would be useful to them?
It would not.
Okay. So regardless of how they gain their nourishment, it has to be through that source.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is their communication, is that magical or is that like an ability that they
It's
have?
like an ability. It's a limited form of telepathy.
Okay.
It's more like they're pulling words out of your heads to give you the idea of what they're communicating.
Yeah,
So
I just mean would my detect magic pick anything
Oh.
up from?
No.
Okay.
Are these crystals magical? I forget. They have a slight magical essence to them, right?
They have an energy property to them, but they're not necessarily magical.
Yeah.
They
You were
take,
gonna do something with them.
they take
I
magic
made vials
really
out of them.
easily.
That's what it was. Yeah. I used it to make those crystal vials that we have.
Yeah, I thought there was something else though too that you were, which is why you took extra.
Yeah, I couldn't remember, but that's fine. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with using this resource to get Mav's pearl back. They're going to get us past the rust monsters, and we'll move forward. And I think that's a good deal. I will put up my hand to shake it with him, even though he probably doesn't know what that means.
He takes your hand and licks it.
I will in turn lick his, as I assume that is the custom.
You hear from amongst the group, ha 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 ha.
Phil, now you're married. What are you doing?
Well, on
That's
the
all.
downside, now I have 2 wives.
Oh my
At least there's
gosh.
that. Three. I have 3 wives. Crazy lady, the dryad, and now this creature.
Yeah, see?
And what about poor what's her face?
Tabby?
Tabby.
Tabby's just my bestie.
Does Tabby feel the same way?
She gets new shoes all the time. She's fine.
Are you saying that or is she saying that?
She's told me that.
Just don't.
Okay.
She's currently on a mission, keeping an eye on one of our close friends here. So.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw her?
Not that long ago, I assume, because she's been watching Hazani for me.
I just want to, and then we'll move on. But the statement of "not that long ago," I assume.
Yeah. Yep.
That's Tony assuming, because Tony forgot to ask Mike if Tabby saw anything as she's been watching Hazani for me.
I'll get to you back to you on that.
Yep, I figured. So yeah, we'll complete this transaction. Yeah, that'll be good. I don't want to know how they reproduce. I do, but I don't. I do, but I don't. So Phil doesn't want to know how they reproduce. So
Would
make something up. So
would Thanik be able to use do an intelligence check on them to get anything off of about what they are, or are they magical in nature? Are they creature? What are anything?
You can make an Arcana check on this. Yeah, Arcana would work.
At advantage.
in response to the way you said it to me earlier, Adam, we could just ask them what they're called.
I don't know if I trust anything they say.
Oh, that's fair.
They are elemental in nature.
Okay.
Oh. I speak primordial. I could probably talk to them.
Okay.
Yeah, with that, I will attempt to speak to them in primordial.
I didn't say anything to you about that they're elemental. You don't know they're elemental.
Because they're so mean to each other. It's so funny.
I know.
And remember the other week when Filbert was like, "No, Thanak's mean to me all the time." You were like, "No, no, he's not." Pepperidge Farm remembers that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they accept the trade. Mav, you get your Pearl of Power back.
Yay.
And so what is going on? What is happening?
I'm harassing
Oh
Thanak.
my gosh.
And they explain to you that you're going to want to take the South Pass to avoid the rust monster layers.
Oh, okay. Good.
I'm going to send out a fax to the other teams
This?
Okay.
advising them of this.
Okay. The other teams respond. So yeah, that night when you guys sit down to camp, you send out your faxes. Your other teams respond that they've had some incidents as well. So let's find out what happened to them.
Oh,
Can I also include to watch their pockets because there's some pickpockets around here?
You sure can. So let's deal with the North Road team first.
Just as an FYI, once we leave these creatures,
Mhm.
that's when I would point out that they're elementals, which is why it would make some sense that they were eating rocks and crystals.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would talk about it while in their presence.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough. So the North team, Team Mandible, reports that they followed the fungal highway for quite some time. The carpet of sleep fungus became quite a bit thicker to the point where it caused drowsiness among them. And then they were attacked by spore zombies. So I need somebody to make a combat roll.
got it.
I think. All right, go ahead.
Take that.
Nice.
Got him.
So Ziz in
Ziz
crew
is not having it.
is not having any of spore zombies. And they just go to town and clean up the mess and head on. After that, they found a place to camp, much as you guys have, and have settled in for the evening. The other team, Team Flint Rock, has gone into the mushroom forest, and they encountered a group of undead myconids.
Oh.
So these are necrids. These things have been rumored about in the Kren Empire. Apparently there was an infestation and an outbreak of them in Setnovia during the Convergence that turned an entire village of people into the unliving. So this group, rather than fight these guys, fled. And now I need an explore nature check from somebody.
What I was thinking is that since Mav missed all our rolls last week, he should do all the rolls.
So you can
Got
blame
it.
that completely.
Yeah.
Othig. So that's pretty good. They get lost in the forest for a little bit, but not long, and they get back on the road and avoid any trouble with them. The group taking the river, as they're traversing down the waterfall, is attacked by hobgoblins, and they need to make a combat check.
Mav will roll this one.
The blood spears.
It's going to be a 4.
Team.
Dude, it almost was.
So
That's so crazy.
They do a fantastic job of fighting off the hobgoblin ambush as well. They are bothered by hobgoblins' presence in the Underdark, and they communicate this to you because hobgoblins are not creatures that frequent the Underdark. You'll find them underground, but not this far down, so that is something that doesn't sit well with them.
Can we assume from that means those hobgoblins are probably also chasing loved ones that got taken?
I think that's a pretty big leap
Oh,
to assume that.
Okay. I mean, we're down here and we don't.
I was going to kind of ask a similar question.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but to say, can we assume that? I think that's a big.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely something you could put out there as a possibility, but
I was hoping for an enemy of my enemy kind of situation.
Oh yeah, that makes kind of some sense. The hobgoblins did not take it that way. Their ambush was solid and thorough, but thanks to the leader of the Blood Spears' magical goggles, he picked up on them and turned the tables on them before they had a chance. They didn't have any sort of information on them declaring what their intentions in the Underdark were.
All right, cool.
Interesting.
Right. So you guys head down the road and you pass by on the south side of the mountains, down over this way, and avoid the rust monster lair. And you come up to this cliff here the next day. It's quite large, several hundred feet down.
Yikes.
It's a good thing you got lots of rope
Yeah.
And climbers kits.
and
Yeah.
climbers kits.
Yeah. Plenty of both.
All right. Yeah. Several hundred feet, you say?
Several hundred feet down.
Hazani has a pack as well,
Yep,
right?
everybody was outfitted well.
We have 250 feet of silk rope, plus I think we all have 250 feet of, or a total of 250 feet of hemp rope.
I don't know what
So-
Hazani has, but I think the four of us all have rope.
Yeah.
She would have had a standards adventurer's pack. She would have had rope with her.
Okay.
And she has been quiet most of this trip again, even now that it is just you guys. She talks a little, but not much.
Yeah, what would it take to, like, would we have an idea of the best method to kind of combine our resources here to get down the side of this shelf safely?
We're dwarves. Of course we do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you guys really how you want to do it. You all have climbers kits and enough rope to go around. You could just make the climb down independently. You could use your ropes to take more time to variously climb down. All depends on what you want to do.
It's what? It's you said 300 feet?
Yep. And it's pretty
We
sheer.
had enough. We have enough rope. We have enough climbers kits, so we can tie us all together and then just make sure that we're using climbers kits almost like a what's it called? Like a track. So first person down would put one down.
Yeah, so you want to
Connect.
anchor ourselves and then anchor. You want to anchor ourselves, but anchor each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we
Right.
go past it,
Yeah.
the last person past it will take it off
Right.
and then just drop
Yep.
it down to
Mm-hmm.
the first
The
person.
first person.
Yeah.
I smell what you're cooking.
All right.
So we don't lose any of our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So you do an overlapping climb,
Yep.
pendulum style when you need to get down. Make athletics checks at advantage.
I would also like to keep an eye on Hazani. Does she seem like what does she? Oh, what am I doing? Athletics. What does she seem? What does she seem? Jeez, really?
I know. Well, yeah. Don't worry, I dropped a 2 also, but
Yeah. What does she seem quiet about? Is she quiet about being in the Underdark? Is she quiet about?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
You can do that at advantage.
I mean, can I do that at advantage?
Yeah, because you guys could all confer about what's going on and swap trade stories.
Does somebody else want to make it then?
I got a +5.
Yeah, you do it.
yeah, I only have +2.
Oh, look at that.
Holy cow!
There
So-
you go.
You guys are all talking about her. A 30. That's really solid. You're all talking about her.
That's really solid. Yes, it is.
It's a good thing it's really solid.
5 points away from impossible. So there's one point in time she's distanced herself off from the group. She's off doing something, maybe relieving herself or something more private. And you're talking about it, and she comes back, and you all think she looks depressed, and she's mad at you for just not asking her. And she says, "Well, of course I'm depressed. I'm trying to figure out if my family's even worth saving now." She's like, if they're controlled, do they want to come back to knowing what they've done? Will they ever be able to forgive themselves? And if they're not controlled, then what? I kill my own family? And she just picks up a rock and hucks it over the edge of the cliff. And she's like, yeah, I'm depressed. She's like, my family's become the most despicable people in history.
Point of order.
Yeah.
Are they more despicable than we are in the list of clans?
Well, that depends, I guess, on what side of the war you're on.
Yeah.
I,
We're not despicable.
I think
human beings,
Mav's
yeah.
response would be, I know how you feel.
She just breaks down and starts crying. And She says, she doesn't say it insultingly or with a retort, but she says, I don't know if you do. But I would. But she said, it's. I understand what you mean. Your family's been through the crap too. She's like, but you still have yours.
Do we?
Yeah, we don't know.
Some
I mean,
we'll make them pay. Whoever it is, we'll make them pay. It's not every Red Rock that is a terrible person. We're looking at one that's all right now.
She's like, yeah, right. The leaders of it are, but what about all the ones that went along with it? Surely not all of them are controlled. Some of them did this because they wanted to, or they just followed orders and murdered people.
Some of them just followed
but she
orders
obviously wanted to find that out. Otherwise, she wouldn't have even pursued this to begin with.
Mike.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of us have really done it in game yet, but I've had Tabby keeping tabs on her. That's funny. Can I use my I know a guy to try and present something in this moment that would break through that depression and form some sort of bond for her with our group based on Tabby's insight over the last several weeks? Because we need her at full strength in all of this emotionally, or she's not going to survive the Underdark.
So you want to use Tabby as the I know a guy who knows Hazani well?
Yes.
Okay. Tabby would have informed you that Hazani has sent multiple sending spells to her family and gotten no response. But she knows they've received them.
Okay.
And so she is feeling
That's harsh.
Super alone in the world.
Yeah.
So she would provide you with a ton of insight into that. And so you could definitely use that. I'll allow you to use that in a way to kind of, I don't know, to bolster her up.
Yep.
You're like, I'm basically going to fortune tell her back to like non-depression.
Who has the medallion from when Phil died? Who has that?
I think Mav would have it.
Does Mav have it? Othig said he made it. I didn't know who had it.
Oh, the one from your spearhead?
Oh,
my spearhead.
that one? Mav has it.
That is my holy symbol.
Oh. You had to go and make something useful out of it.
What can I say?
Do we have anything
Apologize,
we
of
can
course.
give her that would make her family? Like, not in an insulting way, not in a, hey, we're replacing your family, but as in a, hey, in this time of desperation, know that you're one of us.
I can write her a contract.
I don't want a contract.
I got something.
I can. I mean, I made Mav's necklace, so I can make her another.
Yeah.
One. Make her one.
So yeah, I think that's what Phil would want to do. He would want to attempt to present her with something, not as a replacement. That by no means. I mean, with the insight that Phil gets with that, and with his tender nature, he would attempt to bridge that gap, and at least let her know that while she's here with us, she's one of us.
Between you doing that and the insight check that you guys had together, one of you would probably realize, and you're all teasing Mav about writing up a contract, but one of you would probably sit back and wait, no. We never actually brought her into the guild. We just forced her to tag along to prove herself.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's true.
Oof.
Matt would write a letter stating she's an official member of Granite Back Guild.
Yep.
Granite Back Adventuring Guild.
I would actually cross the guild out part and put clan.
Ooh.
Sure.
Oh yeah, because the guild's kind of defunct at the moment.
I mean, even if the guild wasn't defunct, the guild is a job.
Yep. You guys,
True.
You guys only lost
half.
35%.
We only lost half.
You lost half of your out teams. You're still at 3/5.
We only had 2 people who weren't an out team, and one of them was the out team.
But we're also at 100% of not knowing anything.
No, No. There were 5 teams you guys included, and 3 of them are not captured. So you are 3/5.
Yeah, but we have no idea what happened to.
You know what happened to Oren and Khalid's team? They both got away.
Well,
Who's the
other
temporarily,
team
we
that
know.
made it
We
out?
don't know what happened at the next step. Like they're in
What's the
occupied
other-
territory.
Who's the other team that made it out?
Khalid and Oren's team.
Yes, you said there was 3 teams
You.
that made it out. Oh, yeah, we don't count. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
You're a punk.
You're right. You're
I
right.
like it though. I like the clan thing. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
This would be a big deal because dwarves do change clans.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily even considered a slight against a different clan. A lot of it's just sometimes business, but it is also family. And she would look at it and say, "You can't be serious." And it's not like she's mocking it. She's genuinely floored by the offer. And then she says yes.
Okay, good.
Very well.
And then we'll all get tattoos together.
Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, off in the distance, you
What
hear
is
some.
her class? I don't know if I ever actually picked up on what is her class. What does she
She's
do?
a
She's a
life
life
cleric.
cleric.
Life cleric. That's
It's
really
like
cool.
I was waiting for. We do this really awesome thing, and I'm gonna need you to roll initiative.
That's what I mean.
All of a sudden,
There's
something
some-
happens because we're all distracted by trying to
Yeah.
feel better, and all of a sudden there's a group on us.
You're
Yeah.
not
Some carnivores are off in the
Barovia
corner.
anymore. You
Oh,
can
look at them. They're so nice.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as a side note, Phil's become very fond of Hazani. So, because she was a middle older dwarf, correct?
No, she's young.
How young?
She's 50-ish.
Okay, but
Yeah,
like
she's-
where Phil would have been before he died.
Yeah. No, Phil, you were a teenager.
Yeah, you
Was
were
it
like
really?
13.
No,
Man, I was a little guy.
You were like not. You were real young.
you were just out of like bar mitzvah age.
I forgot about that. I forgot I was a child.
Yep. You were a young teenager. She'd be a young adult,
Okay.
Like
which is everybody else's age range in the group.
Yep.
Yeah.
everyone was treating you like, Filbert.
They still do.
But less.
Cool. I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we did that. That's good.
Yeah.
I hope we get some cool synergy from her into one of us. That'd be really cool.
All right. So, you guys did all make it down the cliff. You had
Okay.
your camping moment. You skipped your next encounter by dealing well with the creatures, and so
Not if I have my way with it.
let's talk about what happens to everybody else. So, Team Mandible is in a good position for their next encounter. They're traveling and they make their way off the fungal highway, and their highway continues. Their road isn't falling apart like yours is, and they continue to follow it just off to the side. And Ziz, at one point in time, stops everybody and has them all hide. Because he hears something that nobody else hears. There's a clicking sound off in the distance. And then it's repeated by clicking sounds nearby. And then everybody hides. And he keeps them all quiet. And they are able to ambush instead of be ambushed by a group of hooked horrors that were tracking them.
Of course.
So
What is that?
Yeah.
picture,
They're nasty.
It is exactly what it sounds like.
picture a
Picture
were-chicken.
of men.
But instead of flappy arms, they have giant bone hooks instead of wings.
And they're heavily armored.
They got kind of like a carapace on their back. They're nasty. They're typical Underdark predators, and they're pretty scary. So somebody needs to make a combat roll at advantage.
I'll do it.
Matt will get it.
Oh, dang. You beat me out.
No.
Oh, dude, that's awful.
Big Adam.
I would
Hey,
like to say that
Hey, this is
Adam's
exactly how we
role-
felt last week when you left. Exactly. How you feel right now is...
So they're hiding and they're getting ready to ambush it, and one of his team members kind of jumps the gun And
Kind of.
when he jumps up to take a step,
Smashes the war gong as he's going to combat for the ambush.
He's assuming he's got it all wrapped up because they're going to ambush the one hooked whore, but the other two rip him to pieces.
He Leroy Jenkins.
Oh.
So he loses. Ziz loses a member in that fight.
Gosh.
So that's the notice you get, is that he lost a member.
Was that in the north?
Yep, where the hook horror is dancing around.
Yep.
The
next group, and they're coming out of the fungal forest now, so they're over here. They find a cave, and out of that cave bursts a just gnarly looking, mangled, almost crippled, maybe even giant, with one giant eye and one small eye, and they end up, there it is, having to fight a Fomorian. And so I need a combat roll from these guys.
I'll do it. Regular?
Regular.
No, because not rolled yet. Don't you
not
think you're
terrible.
out? Don't think you're getting away with getting out of this,
Just-
Adam. You have to kill a group too.
I did. I killed the group last week.
Adam's got PTSD from last week. That was a
I want
terrible week,
pizza.
you guys. It was so bad, Andy. You have no idea how bad it was. I didn't even want to keep narrating. I was like,
Oh.
I didn't want it to be this bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted it to be bad, but not this
Not
bad.
this bad.
Not this
It
bad.
was bad.
It
He
was
made Chris
Barovia
Perkins feel
bad.
bad.
No, I didn't.
Chris Perkins was like, "Oh, dude, that's harsh."
Come on now. Come on, that's not what happened.
That was beautiful. That was awesome.
So they managed to kill the Fomorian, but they are not able. Who's putting the tokens on the map? Because I appreciate it.
sorry, that's me.
No, I'm glad you're doing it, because
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to remark this map later with the things you found, like I did the old Illinois map.
Cool, yeah.
Just, for stuff. But one of the dwarves in the party is cursed by this creature before he's killed. And the curse of a Fomorian turns them into like a little mini version of itself.
Oh,
And he's all mangled up and has a big, like, pussy leaking eye, and his teeth get all nasty, and his skin gets warty and bumpy. He gets super gross looking.
Poor Belson.
Yep, that happened to my dwarf once.
oh, did it?
Yeah, it was not
Oh.
good. He had the eye. One big eye. I almost wanted him to stay that way. It was so funny.
It was hilarious.
So the other group, they get down to the bottom of the waterfall after they kill off the hobgoblins, and it looks like the hobgoblins had used some boats to make it upriver. So whatever these guys were doing here, they came from downriver, and they moved upriver. So these guys commandeer the boat and head downriver, which is not a bad call for them, but unfortunately, that's where the rest of the monsters were.
Okay.
Yep, you guys avoided them. Unfortunately, they're cooking along at such a great speed that they don't see the ropers in the river. Combat check at disadvantage, please.
Thanik.
You give him the
I'll do it for you.
disadvantage one.
I'll do it
that's
for
fine.
you, Thanik.
Nope, it's too late. It's too late. I'm already doing it.
Oh, it's not a full fail. So, but it's bad.
It's a good thing you did it.
Yep. They do lose 2 members to the ropers in the river.
Roper in a river.
Yeah, that sounds like a ballad. like a bard's ballad.
Roper.
Let me tell you about the tragedy of ropers in the river.
There once was a roper in a river.
So, the other teams are slightly jealous of your better day.
Yeah.
You didn't have to fight the rust monsters.
From now on, all communications will be minimizing the positive of the day.
Yeah. It was really bad, guys. It was hot.
Some guy licked my hand.
I licked his hand.
Married now. Again.
Filbert may or may not be married to his third wife
Seriously.
or
Which might be a
husband.
guy.
We're not sure.
Oh. No bueno.
Filbert didn't realize it, but he's polyamorous. He just happened to stumble into it.
Ah.
Yep. So that's
Did I miss anything, Mike? Is that I
that's
see
it.
a missing encounter in the north. What was the first encounter in the north?
oh, that Ziz spore zombies.
That was in the
Zombies, yeah.
north?
Yep.
Yep.
Because the
What was-
myconid, nope, those were the myconids. There were myconids and spore zombies.
Oh, okay. They're different.
Yep.
I'll just make another one of those tokens for that because I don't have one for store.
Yeah,
You
'cause
could
the myconids
you could
were
put a
undead.
zombie token in there too if you want.
Okay. Ooh, I have a gas spore.
That sure.
Put the gas-
Sure. Why not?
Gas spore.
So where are we at? All right. So you guys, you're down. Let me get your token on the board. Whoop. Whoa, too big. You guys are down here, and your next day of camp is better. Hazani still is a little off, but she's in much better spirits. It's obvious she's still thinking about family and stuff, but she's in better spirits. And you guys, how do you want to head from here?
I was just thinking due west.
I would like to head to the next objective.
Of course you would.
Well, you're not
We
quite
all
sure
would.
where the next objective is. So,
Well, someone figure that out.
We have a couple groups going west. Why don't we head south?
Why don't we
Like
check
south.
for? Can we check for tracks first?
Check for traps.
Tracks.
That too.
Oh,
That too. Check for traps while I check.
Like there's just like a big pit in the ground, and we all
Yeah.
fall right into it.
But I will check for tracks while Thanok checks for any type of natural trap formation.
which
can
way
I
are-
even check for natural traps?
Which way are you guys headed? You're headed that way?
I think we're
Yes.
headed west, and
was
I don't
thinking
know. I mean, I
west-
think honestly,
westerly.
I think
What's
we
here?
might want to be looking towards that mountain range, sort of,
Sure.
Okay.
because the next north group is going to be
On the other side of it.
On the
looking at
north side of it.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Boom, baby. 26.
Whoa, dude.
Okay.
Nice.
Looking for
Oh my
tracks.
gosh.
As you guys start heading north, Filbert, you find a large, recently walked path, running right alongside the edge of these mountains to the west.
nice.
So, had you gone the other way, you would not have found that.
Good.
Boom,
Okay.
baby. We got this.
Nice.
Mike, as an aside, can I, because since my ease sort of trap finding is mechanical,
Mm-hmm.
would I be even able to find like natural traps? Would I even be able to look for them?
Natural traps are really more the domain of rangers and druids doing survival checks. So
That's kind of what I thought. Okay.
if somebody used natural things to make a mechanical trap, like a Rambo trap, you'd be able to find stuff for that. But
Okay.
if it's like, if you're looking at like, hey, that cliff is going to cause a rock slide,
Okay.
you're not going to pick that up.
But like
Gotcha.
if somebody were to leave like a tripwire in the middle of a jungle, I
Yes.
could find that?
You could find that.
Okay.
Mike, that area to the south there that we didn't go, did we find anything out about that?
What
'Cause I
area
thought we
to the
asked
south?
about where my other green line is.
Oh, that's the road you guys took.
But then the rust monsters were to the north. We avoided them by going south.
Yes, you
Yeah.
went south down
Gotcha.
around that mountain ridge, and then back out to where you came out.
Thank you.
Yep. No, you avoided the rust monsters. So you guys start traveling alongside of these mountains. You're following the trail, and it gets really quiet, like spooky quiet. It almost to the point where it's unnatural. Like the only sound you hear are the steps you make, and they're so loud when they hit that you can't even believe how loud they are. You're just like, that just doesn't make any sense. For the first time, none of you still, and Filbert has talked to Tabby, and Tabby has helped with information and things like that. None of you have ever seen it. You're almost certain you can hear her wings.
Oh.
That's terrifying.
There's just this weird fluttering, buzzing sound coming from around Hazani and Phil, and Hazani's like, "What is that?" And she hears it clearer than everybody else.
I think Can you? Is this like magical?
I mean, I was thinking it was magical, but we can still hear.
No. I mean, like, is it magical to the point where like the magical effect is causing everything to be amplified?
Well, you wouldn't say it's everything. It's almost like, because you don't hear other noises that you've heard. Like the Underdark up until this point, it's just a different kind of biome. So there's still noises that small creatures make nearby. There's still things that fly through the air. There's still sounds of predator and prey and other creatures nearby. You've gotten here, and the only things you can hear in this area are yourselves.
Oathing's just concerned that this is going to alert someone's presence, our presence to
is going
someone.
to cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Okay. Is there any wind going?
No, you've noticed there's a pretty solid lack of wind down here altogether. Every
Is
once
that
in a
all
while,
just in general? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there ever wind in the Underdark?
There would be. There's storms and rain that brew up out of the oceans here. The ecosystem works differently, but there is wind. There's rising and falling of hot air. It depends on what you're near, really.
All right.
You know.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So I'm definitely going to cast Pass Without a Trace on us, so we can move stealthily and try and move through this space, whatever it is, without alerting any issues. We all have a +10 bonus to our stealth
+12.
checks.
Plus
+12,
plus
Plus
10,
plus two.
plus 2 from our
Yeah.
cloaks.
and we all have a +D4 on our checks from Kane.
That's true. Holy cow.
So
No, it's only
No,
on
it's not.
saves
Yep.
and attacks.
It's not skill checks. Guidance is
Thank
for
you.
skill checks.
guidance is skill checks.
Mav is going to constantly be casting guidance on himself.
Okay.
So just scrub.
So, please make stealth checks then.
All right.
We're at 10 more. Go.
+12.
Oh, that's still pretty boss for
Yeah, that's still
So-
25.
Is this
Yeah,
at advantage?
disadvantage.
It's if
You're
you're
in
in heavy armor, it's disadvantage.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering if it was advantage because then it would be normal
No.
for me. But
No, it's not.
20
Just- just checking. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
But it's not terrible.
It's not terrible,
Still
but
not terrible.
yeah, considering it's a 2.
You keep hitting that war gong as you're walking by.
Yeah.
That thing is wrapped up tight right now.
So, make perception checks for me. Oh,
Nope.
guys.
Nope.
Boys. That's all bad.
Nope.
Can I make one for Albert? He's just floating around here somewhere.
Yeah, does Hazani make one?
Oh,
Hazani does make one. Albert would not pick up on this, probably.
Oathing feels really good about himself for almost seeing as much as Filbert with a -1.
Filbert,
Yeah.
you can make one for Albert, but it's at disadvantage.
oh, okay. Let's see.
Gosh, +7. It's ridiculous.
Ooh.
Oh.
Almost great.
Sorry, it didn't roll with the +6, so that's a 10.
Okay. So none of you noticed this, but as you're walking, I'm going to tell you what's happening. The sound begins to echo even more. You're being stealthy. You're being quiet. But every footfall it's like somebody hitting the ground with a hammer. And you're just like, what the heck is going on? And just when you're thinking about leaving, some rocks begin to tumble down off of the mountainside wall of the canyon that you're along. And then the ground begins to vibrate. And as that happens, you watch as the rocks begin to spread out. And they're all held up by webs. And they're all held and connected by webs. And these creatures that look like a half human, half spider, not driders. These definitely are more spidery than a drider is. Like a drider looks like a plain elf on the upper half. It's a spider monster that comes crawling up out of between these webs along with several giant spiders. And I'm going to need you to roll initiative.
Hey, there it is.
Yep. Ettercaps.
Hey, while these things show up, I'm gonna look over at Phil and say, "Hey, do you remember when you turned into a spider and you got mated with?" You should do that again.
You could go for marriage two in
Yeah.
the same day. We're setting
I love
records.
that this has now somehow become a thing with Filbert. This is like what his life does.
Filbert mates with everything.
Oh,
I am Star-Lord.
Unbeknownst to Phil, he mates with everything.
Yep,
Yeah, he's not trying.
I am
He's just that
Star-Lord.
guy who gets action without trying.
Yeah.
Why do girls
me
like
so
you?
much.
I don't even know.
I didn't know they were all girls.
They're not.
Mike, hey
Yeah.
Mike, was it you? I can't remember. Did you say that NPCs were gonna go on 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad you guys went Ettercap way. I was kind of looking forward to this.
Ettercaps are the worst memes.
These things are stupid looking Ettercaps too. Ettercaps are really scary looking in some like versions,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
these ones are dumb looking.
They
So,
do
and
look dumb.
there are
I can
also
tell that Andy's looking it up right now.
multiple giant spiders that come up with them as well. So
Mm.
you guys are completely surrounded, and this is what the combat field looks like.
There it is.
Yep, that's a much better one.
Like, I went to go look and I saw your hands go to the keyboard and I was like, I'm not even gonna. He'll have it.
The ground here is difficult terrain, and you are going to be required to make a d20 roll to move at all.
Oh.
Pass without a trace. Doesn't that
affect
ignore?
But that just makes you stealthy. That doesn't help
Yeah,
you
that one doesn't
Okay.
do ignore.
brain,
No.
right?
Yep.
Sorry.
And so, and I will, yeah, that's a great
Whoa.
one. That's the one I think about all the time when I see it.
Yep.
That's vile.
Yeah. So,
Gross.
the reason you need to make the roll is that the rocks are separated and held up with webs at this point, and every 5 foot square is its own independent square, and they do shift when you move.
Wait, the landscape is like that?
Yes, they dug.
I thought you were talking about the mountain.
No, it's the landscape below
Oh
your
my
feet.
gosh. That's gross.
Yeah, and looking down between it, you see hundreds of different creatures that have been cocooned up underneath this area.
Oh my gosh. Like the thing
Okay.
of nightmares.
Okay. Mike, real quick, am I able to tell if there's anything special looking about these spiders?
Yes, they're Ettercaps.
My question is, do I feel like they'll be immune to poison if I turn into something with poison? Because the last one was, but it also was abnormal.
No, these look they're definitely an Underdark version of giant spiders that you've seen up top, so you're not real familiar with them, but it's hard to say that, but you're going to guess maybe no.
Okay.
All right. So, Filbert, you are up first.
Yep. So Filbert is just he hears all this clacking and he sees all this chaos happening, and he is going to summon 8 giant wolf spiders to his assistance.
Okay.
Yes.
They are medium creatures, and they will not have issues moving across webs. And I myself will use my bonus action to turn into a giant spider as well.
All right. As per what I do just to speed things along, I am going to operate your wolf spiders as a swarm. Is that cool? I would allow you, if you want, you can have 2 smaller swarms.
Okay, that'll work. Let's do
Okay.
that. Break it into Jubaxa 4.
Yep.
It's like, why are the rest of us even here?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be able to do this by myself.
I don't know. I think you're evening out the odds pretty darn well.
That he is. It's helping. Where do you want them to come up?
I will summon by the north and the south Ettercap.
Okay.
So Ettercap 3, Ettercap 2.
Ettercrap.
Yeah. Ettercap. And then I will move to the Ettercap 4, but that will end my
Ettercrap
turn.
on your 6. Dive.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And then,
So, and you turned into a giant spider yourself?
correct.
Correct. All right.
Yep.
Two barrel.
They don't get. Do they get attacks when I summon them or no?
I don't ever remember. I know I've looked that up before. I don't
They
remember.
technically each get their own initiative, but we don't play that way because it adds too much to the combat tracker.
Correct.
They would technically each get their own initiative, but they're acting on my turn,
Yeah.
so that's your call.
I am gonna say they do then.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right.
And so for now, you'll be making 8 attacks.
Yep.
4 and 4.
Filbert. Spiders. One. Oh, they're not blessed. I don't know how to make that not a thing. So it's an 18.
18 will
I'm
hit.
guessing.
Still
Okay,
hits.
so that will be damage and a con save for poison.
He would always have light on his
Fail.
face.
Is he immune to poison before I click the
They
poison
are
button?
not immune to poison.
All right, so he will become poisoned by that one. Ooh, that guy failed miserably. And that one will hit. Poison. And last one on the north one. Hit. Damage. Save. He'll succeed. Hit. Success. Hit. Damage. Save.
It's like, do you know how awful this would be if it wasn't automated?
Right? And that is everybody.
We'd be here for like 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've hot buttoned up most of my stuff, so
Mm-hmm.
ahead of time.
So
All right,
had you
that's
not.
Filbert.
All right. So,
I believe that brings us to the Ettercaps.
it does. So, let's see. All right. They are all going to cast Web.
I may
Is that
absorb
a-
one of them.
Is that a spell
It's
or
not
is
a
that
spell.
like a?
It's
an
Oh,
organic.
it works
okay.
like the spell, but it's a natural effect. Sorry.
Okay.
So I said that. Hizani is missed with the web. Othig is hit with the web. You are restrained, my friend.
Boo.
Boo.
Thanak
Spiders.
is missed with the web.
Phew.
And Mav is hit with the web. So Mav and Thanak, you are restrained.
No, Mavin.
Mav and Othig.
Othig, yes, sorry about that. And then this one. They are all going to do this. They are going to scuttle around and crawl underneath the rocks that they're standing on. So swarms can make attacks of opportunity on them.
Oh no.
On the two that are going underneath. But they all disappear from sight.
Can Phil make a?
Yeah, Phil gets 2 also, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, Phil would. Yep, you're right.
Oh gosh. Well, no, I can't target them. You took them away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna throw a bunch of D20s up here. It'll be easier.
That's the way I do it, and it is much easier.
So there's the 8 spiders. Add 3 to those. All but 2.
Let me check their AC again. Yep, all but 2, and one of them's a crit. So you put some hurt on them.
So these will be the first 3 hits against the one. So add 3 to this number.
Okay.
For the north guy.
Okay.
And then this will be for the south guy. Add 3 to that as well. For the south guy. And then I will attack the one by me.
And you got the crit. So.
Oh no, I
rolled
was
your
rolling
own.
separately from
Got
me.
it.
I rolled a 1.
And
So
you rolled a 1. Okay.
Phil missed.
All right.
Cool.
So Hazani is up.
That's a much better way to do that.
And she is going to She's not going to do it. She's going to hop over here. So she's going to make her D20 roll to move. And that's 13. She's fine. And she is going to pull out a knife and cut Othig free.
Yay!
Thanak.
Thanak's going hunting. So I need to make a D20 to see if I can even move.
Yep. Okay. You make it across.
I can move that. Where is it? Bam!
Nice.
There's one.
Get it.
And man, that's nice. Hot dog.
All right, so you lay a couple of good smacks into the giant spider, who is wounded pretty badly by your attack, and so it is going to turn around and it sprays web all up in your face, and it misses. So, that was giant spider 1.
It's like you hit it so hard that it was distraught. It was like spraying web in every direction except where you were standing.
It's like spraying it straight up.
Giant spider 2.
I love that it's
Spider
also crying like a child.
Yes.
Giant spider 2 runs in and its front legs reach out. And have you ever seen a spider shake its web because it's pissed at something? It grabs the web that's holding up Hazani and Mav, and it begins to shake it really badly. And I need you guys to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no.
Jeez.
You're about to fall underneath the Underdark.
Go
Mavamine
fall.
is webbed, right? Does that mean he's webbed to the web?
What? Oh,
Mavamine's sticky to the web, isn't he?
no, he's just
He's
sticky to
restrained?
himself. He's
Oh,
restrained
okay.
to himself. Mav, you roll off the side, and you are now restrained in the webs suspended between the rocks.
Oh no.
Yay!
Yeah, Othig is fine, and Hazani is fine as well. Those two maintain their footing. So that was Spider
Can I
2.
hit it?
Yes, you can, because it came into your range.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Totally hit it. Wait.
I do get. I have a 4. I don't have a 2.
Good job. Good job.
Just an FYI.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Come on.
Nope.
All right.
Fortunately, you miss. This spider comes running over Othig, and it does the same thing, so you need to make another
No.
dexterity check. Just you, though, because nobody else is connected to this one.
Yeah.
All right. And you...
Are you undone?
Yeah, he's free.
If you're. Oh, okay.
Hazani cut him free.
Yeah.
Well, I see how it is.
She was going to cut you free next, but, well, things didn't work out for you. They're quite the same.
Now if she cuts you free, you're just going to fall into a
Yeah.
black abyss.
This one is going to decide to attack Filbert instead.
Oh, hi. Hey, how's it going?
Yep. So, 23 will hit you. I forgot to roll it on you. Sorry. I've been meaning to do that. And so it bites you, and I need a Constitution save.
18.
That is enough. So you will take half of, and I will not roll this on you, because otherwise I'll give you... You'll take 4 points of poison damage.
Okay.
Othig,
That's...
you're up.
Oh, yeah. That's not halved because he's not a dwarf anymore, right?
Correct.
No, I'm currently a
Oh my
spider.
gosh. Oh, hey, there you go. Dude.
Nice.
Nice.
That's a good smack.
It is.
Oh my gosh, with the 3s and 4s though. Holy cow.
Too bad you can't re-roll those.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, serious.
Rough
Twice as
days.
many opportunities to fail.
All right, Mav, you're in a lot of trouble right now.
What did I see?
Well, you see a bunch of webs covering your face, and you rolled off the rock, but you didn't fall like you expected to fall. You're pretty sure you're stuck between two rocks.
Like, and they're coming back together, or
No, they're just dangling there at the moment.
okay. Well,
It's like, how is this a false floor? Like this big? That's so creepy.
Strong webs, yo.
It wasn't necessarily a false floor. I mean, it's real floor.
Mav's gonna cast guidance on himself.
Yeah, but it's like if it's all held together by web, it's like, what's underneath here? And how far away is it?
All right.
Then that's all he'll be able to do. No.
All right. Mav cast guidance on himself. Filbert.
All right, the two wolf spider team 1 is going to go underneath
Okay.
and acquire Mavamine and bring him up, and the other
Acquire
one
him.
is going to
I like it.
go. Can they see the
Tactical.
other caps under there?
They can. Let me show you where they are. I have to move Hizani because this is a different view. They are all on Mav. I actually moved them all to that position before he rolled off. So
Okay. Well, I guess they're going to go in there because they're not going to be able to get him away from them,
correct.
and they'll move in and attack Ettercaps, starting with 3 and
The ones they were
2.
fighting before.
Yep.
Okay.
And I couldn't see that, right?
You get a sense that there's stuff moving all around you. That's for sure.
What?
Thank you.
Those are all
Kieran.
+3.
All +3.
The 7 and 2 will not hit. Everything else will hit.
Okay, so
3 and
3 and 3.
Dude, this is too good to not share.
And then I'll need 3 saves from each of them for poison.
Okay. What's your DC?
11.
The first one will save twice, and the second one will save once.
It's absurd.
And that is
Sorry, I need to add a d6 to that last one.
okay.
All right, so 6 and 10.
All right, so that's going to push this guy to that, and this guy's dead.
Nice.
D-E-D, dead.
Cool.
And then
I'm
Filbert,
trying to help Mav.
you can make your attack on.
Oh yeah, I have. I'm also a person. I will attack him.
Ooh, hey.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good.
You're like a carrier.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He will make his save.
Oh, and I forgot to put that damage on him, so he takes that 4 damage,
got it.
and then I'll.
He made his save, so half of whatever.
Oh, yep.
Do those
I'll
other
just- I'll
caps
roll
coming
under
in?
that. Add 7 halved is 4. 3 points of damage, spider damage.
Got it.
And then bonus action. I don't need one. No. Nope. That's it. That's all I got.
Mike, did those other caps coming in qualify for my reaction?
No, because you can't see them. They're crawling underneath the rocks.
Oh, they are still underneath.
Yep.
The giant
The spiders
spider
and Filbert are now underneath the rocks. So
Yeah, no, I
Filbert's
get
still
it.
above.
Oh, you would. Okay. Which spider giant? You didn't attack the Ettercap then. Which giant spider did you attack?
4.
Got it. I put the damage on the Ettercap.
Yeah, my apologies. I didn't go underneath because I knew that one by me would bite me.
It would have. Okay, cool. So here come the Ettercaps, and they are all going to attack Mav at advantage.
Jeez.
That's a hit.
5 people.
I was going to say 8 spiders just came down into assault them. I was hoping maybe something would change.
And 3.
I tried, Mav.
Well, you changed it from 4 hits to 3.
That's true.
All right, so
Okay.
all right. You will take. Didn't have your poison.
14 damage.
Nope, you're gonna take less than that. Only 11. You can have 3 of that back because it didn't have your poison damage.
Oh,
Oh yeah, because we don't.
that's
have
because
that
I don't have it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I was dragging dice, and all of a sudden the whole combat tracker came over. And then it's a hit and miss, but that's at advantage. So, oh, it's another full second miss. So, Mav, you can have. Oh, you can have 4 of that back. And then the last one will get you, and we'll get you. So,
Did all the spiders go down there?
oh, it just took off bless off everybody because you put it on
Yeah.
them.
Just I'll get that back on them.
Okay. Mav goes unconscious as the last Ettercap. Maybe. If I give you back 3 health, are you up?
I think so, but let me just say it. But you have a second attack on me, don't you?
I do get another attack at you. So that
So I'd be unconscious.
okay. Mav goes unconscious, but that is all of their turn.
Or I'd be
All right.
DD.
All right. Hazani.
How many attacks did the Ettercaps get? 2?
Yep. 2 is going to cast Healing Word at level 3 on Mav. That's pretty good. So as a life cleric, that's 17 healing out of a Healing Word. That's really pretty solid. Because she's actually right next to you. Actually, she's not going to do that. That's stupid. Because she's actually right next to you. I moved her, which that's dumb. I'm not giving you that. I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds on you at level 3. And that is going to be 27 points of healing.
Nice.
Thanak.
The giant spiders are still up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mav, why do you have the unconscious attack?
Because
he went
Was
unconscious.
unconscious.
Okay.
And I can't remove it.
Oh, I'll get it off you. Sorry.
Holy cow, man! These rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, I just took your +2 stealth off.
And I smash the
I can add my
spider's
spell.
head
Yes.
like Gallagher.
Worry about getting your trophy later, though.
Yeah, you'll have to put that in our bar room.
I don't have anywhere to
don't know
bring up
that.
trophies.
Just drag it with you.
Through the Underark, carrying a rotting corpse would never cause any problems down here.
All right. Yeah, never.
I am gonna see if I can move. Is it a 10?
D20.
I did.
Oh, 10, you're
Oh,
good.
it didn't count. Did it count?
No, I
Nope.
don't
Did it
see
show
it.
up for you?
Nope. You
Okay.
said you had a 10 last time?
Yeah, I
Okay.
rolled a 10, but it didn't show up.
I'll give this one to you. Normally, I'd make you roll that again, but you can have it.
Okay. I just want to move over here to this spider.
Okay,
To spider number 2.
sure can.
Actually, I'm gonna move there. And
You
that's
can,
it.
as you pass over that area, you can see the Ettercaps underneath just trying to mob Mav.
Oh,
He's
Yep.
stuck,
if I can,
he's stuck
if
between
I-
the rocks.
if I can see him,
Yeah,
then
you
I'll
can see
stop
him.
right there. Okay, then I'll stop right there. Okay, that's it.
All right, Othig. You just. Oh no, it's the giant spider's turn. My bad.
I was gonna say, did the spiders go?
Let me make 3 rolls for giant spidering. Just do this nice and quick. That's 2 hits. So Filbert, you're gonna get bit once. So I'll need a Constitution saving throw against the poison.
19.
19. That's good. That's good. So you'll take half of this. Oh, I rolled it on you. Dang it. You can have. It's going to be 3. 3 damage, so you can have 5 of that back. And who else got bit? Othig got bit. 22 bites you, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. You don't use a shield, so.
Nope.
Now I'll need a Constitution saving throw from you as well.
Ooh. Oh,
Now,
that bless.
that bless. So this one was kind of close, Othig. You feel your muscles stiffening up as you got close to missing this. And
You, just so you're aware, we roll saves for
poison at advantage.
poison at advantage.
Sure do. Forgot
Oh,
about that.
gosh, yeah, totally.
Yep. So you only take 2 points of damage because you did make the save. So
Okay.
yeah. And
Oh, and you already got it on me, too, right?
Yep. No, I didn't put the damage on you. You got to put 2 points on,
Oh.
and then it is your
Oh.
turn.
Oh, but you got the bite on.
Yep. I threw the bite on
Oops.
you, but I didn't want to deal with taking damage away.
7.
Just add
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So now you're up.
yeah. Ooh.
And I'm going to move Hazani again because there is an Ettercap underneath her.
I'm gonna keep attacking spider number 3. Yes, please. Die.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
crit. It's gonna feel the pain.
yeah, that would be better suited elsewhere. Oh well.
Bam.
Terra dead. I don't see those Ettercaps, right? Because they're underneath.
Yeah, correct. You can see them like stabbing out and flailing around, but you can't get a good. They have 3/4 cover right now, so you'd be attacking at disadvantage.
Okay. Suppose a bonus action doesn't allow me to try to pull Mav up from the web.
No, not a bonus action.
Okay.
It would, in his condition, that would definitely be a full action.
All right. Well, I'll move then. No, I won't.
Please roll 2 more. D20s. Okay. You are allowed to move.
Oh. Wow.
Your first step, the rock shifts really, really quickly, and it almost dumps you over, but you manage to right it.
Am I still blessed by King?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so Othig goes running across, whaps another spider, and it is now Mav's turn.
Mav is gonna shoot at number 2.
Okay.
At
You do have
disadvantage.
Yep, sure do.
Oh, let's see here.
That's still good. Boom. Explode
Nice.
his face.
Like Gallagher.
And then he's just say, "Who's next?"
I definitely feel like Gallagher's a dwarf.
I was just about to say
He's a-
Gallagher is
I mean,
definitely
He's a
like
tall, skinny white man, but
yeah.
behaviorally, he is definitely a dwarf. He just likes hitting
Yeah.
things with a hammer.
Yeah.
What else could he be? Filbert. Giant spider
That's
filbert.
me. Yeah. So the wolf spiders are going after Ettercap 1 to start with.
Both of them are?
4. Well, I'm gonna do groups of 4.
Okay. Well, right, but I meant both groups.
Yeah. Yes.
That's 2 hits.
Well, so the 7 doesn't get.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. That'll be 2 hits on him. And then a save. Succeeds. Save. Oh, there's a fail. And then. Ooh, buddy. That's bad. So that's 2 hits with 1 crit. Oh crap! Can you add 2 more and 2 more because I forgot to add the pluses.
Sure can. I was gonna ask you that because I didn't think you did.
Ooh. So this one's the crit.
Nice.
And then the second save, which fails.
Fail.
Die, Ettercap. Oh, so close. Okay, and then Filbert will go and attack the one by me.
Okay.
He will hit.
Nice.
Very nice. Con save
Ah,
fail.
get him. Oh man, he's got to be so close. All right, and then I'm going to use a bonus action to spend a spell slot and heal myself.
Oh, you had 1 hit point.
Spider form's not looking so good.
No.
2d8 plus my mod. 7.
All right. Very good. So it is the Ettercap's turn. So there are 2 of them. Dang it. I can't. They get, okay. So you watch as those 2 cut Mav loose. And, but they can't carry him away yet. So Ettercap 2 or Ettercap 1 is holding him currently.
Okay.
Hazani is up. She is going to. She's gonna risk it.
For the
Dude,
biscuit.
No.
I don't know what anyone else is going to do, but I know what I'm going to do.
I'm pretty sure we're all going to do the same thing.
She's gonna reach
I don't
out.
know. I don't know if you're thinking what I just thought of.
She will reach out and touch the spider and hit it for. You watch necrotic energy again leap out of her hand and touch the spider, and she hits it for 23 points of necrotic damage.
Nice.
Who does she hit?
Spider's
Ettercap 1?
No, she didn't hit the Ettercap.
Oh.
The one that she could have got to, is the one holding Mav, and she was worried about it dropping him if she killed it.
Well, I mean, we both go on the same initiative, so that's my plan is to catch him.
Well, she's definitely strength is her dump stat.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. She doesn't know how we roll yet. That's okay.
She was just invited to this clan. She's not quite sure how to work with it.
So my plan is, I don't know how this works, but I would like to grab Matt. Now I know he's sort of under me.
Yeah. You can see him. It's holding him, and he's kind of like right in front of you, so you can reach out and grab him. But it is a contested strength check between you and the Ettercap.
That's fine. I would like to I would like to.
Can he hold his action till my turn?
Well, that's actually what I was asking, or part of what I was asking. He's been holding on to. Oh, you went unconscious though, didn't you?
No, not.
He's up because
Well, I mean, yes, but no.
So here's my question: did you lose guidance that you put on yourself?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
So I would like to rescue him.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes it easier for me to hold my action until it's his turn, and then we together.
Well, I'd say you guys are a good enough team. He's not incapable of communication. He sees you going to reach for him, and he says, "Just wait for it."
Okay.
And you're like,
all right.
"What?"
Yeah.
And
Okay.
So you back up and you trust him, and you're like looking way down below and at the spiders, and you're like, "All right."
Yeah.
Okay, so giant spider turns because Thanak is holding his action. So neither of them get their webs back, and they both miss. Loser spiders.
Beautiful.
Othig.
I love it when the DM insults his own creatures.
So
Tony does it
time.
all the time. He has a running mumbling commentary of how much all of the monsters suck. I would love just a constant recording of that. It's kind of like listening to Mordenkainen.
My
You got all
monsters
that sword, you ain't got nothing
battle
good to do with it. You're missing everything. You're a stupid loser.
I have to kill my players with story because my monsters aren't going to do it.
Did you birth Nat ones? You got a whole family of them over there.
The Will Wheaton of DMs.
is Othig in the same position where he feels like just leave Mav alone for the time being?
I mean, if you're
Like what-
like everybody's going to grab Mav, and he's like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Othig's gonna do it, maybe.
I was gonna like Indiana Jones in there. I was gonna like toss Thanak a rope and be like, "Hold me!" and just like swing on in there and like Indiana Jones you up.
There is still two spiders up here. Come on.
You guys
Yeah,
do
kill the
you.
spiders. Kill the spiders.
All right.
I just really hope everybody fails and Mav falls.
Yeah.
Well, you held your action though, but I'm not gonna be doing that then.
All right, you do you.
Okay. I will continue the assault on the giant spider. I will kill the giant spider.
I literally can't get the killing blow on anything I'm attacking ever, can I?
I can hit that past Thanak, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
you got reach.
But then
Sweet.
you can't do your butt attack.
That's okay. I might move and still do it, but
He could still do his butt attack. You just want to appreciate it.
oh,
That
Oh,
one.
That's what
sir.
you get for making bad jokes.
yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
you critically
Make
missed
that
the
pommel.
giant.
Is that giant wolf spider underneath?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll roll to move 5 feet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you scooch over. And you whap it. All
Darn, I was really hoping.
right, Mav, what are you doing?
Mav is shooting.
You will hit it.
Dude!
All right, so
That's the one that was holding you!
you
Yeah, I know
blast
it was.
and you begin to fall.
And now-
Thanak's got to grab
Thanak.
I have to grab you. You're gonna
Yeah.
die. You are going to die. What do I need to
you.
roll?
Athletics, man. Oh, look at that!
That was me. That was me.
you. Oh, look at that!
Yes.
Oh my god, dude.
So Filbert's over there as a spider making grabbing motions.
Oh, jeez.
I was trying to
Please
be his
grab-
hype man. That's
Please
what
grab,
that was.
please grab my brother. And Thanak just puts a hand down there and he's like, "Oh no, you're not falling!" And he slams him down on the rocks next to him.
I was Zoidberging.
Yes, that's
Oh,
exactly
I
what I
enjoyed
pictured.
Bird.
Yeah.
Grab.
Mav has complete faith in Thanak's abilities.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yeah. At
It's
least
okay
someone
because
did.
if you would have let me fall, it would
You cut out. What if
You
if
did
I
cut
didn't-
out.
If you would have failed, it would have been your fault that I died.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
So you've
Terrible.
never heard a spider make a sigh of relief, but it definitely
Yeah.
just did.
I'm guessing all of those will hit, Mike.
Yep, all of those will hit.
So.
And I'll just look over at Hazani and give her a big thumbs up. That's how we roll.
Her eyes are
That's
just
how we
like,
roll.
uh,
These guys are amazing.
So he'll take
these are
that
just
much.
to chase it and get it back.
So he'll take
No.
that much damage, and then I need 8 saves from him
Jeez.
as the wolf spiders converge on him.
What's the DC?
Only 11.
You're only going to get him with 1.
Oh,
Oh.
that's rotten.
Yep.
Uh,
Everything
and
is
it's
10 or
too-
above.
Oh.
Oh.
And
Well-
then I am going to grapple this spider up here, and in spider, I'm just going to scream at it to submit.
It does. They don't take half damage if they save.
Oh, yeah, they do. Thank you.
Yeah. That's-
So that's 2d6.
So it'd be 66. Because 6, right? No, 7.
Oh, that's a smarter way to do that.
7d6. Oh, those
There's
are
the
some big
poison
numbers.
That's the poison damage.
Dang.
Adder cap. So 43 plus 29.
60.
Well, half of that.
Nope,
No,
that
it's
is
already
the
half.
half.
Oh, that is half.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this Ettercap is looking all kinds of bad news bears.
Yep.
He's just reeling from the pounding the wolf spiders just put on him. And,
Yep. And then Filbert is going to make a grapple check on the wolf spider up, or on the giant spider up here
okay.
as a giant spider, and with spider speak, just scream at it to submit, or I will eat it whole.
Well, I mean, you
Ooh,
won't
and
need
that's-
it. Somebody else will.
Dirty 20 to grapple it.
I think you mean and you'll eat it whole.
No, I didn't mate with this one. I don't have to eat it.
You definitely run over to it and you whap it and you roll it over on its back and you just take your pinchers and you push your your front legs like right in its face and you just make all these clacking sounds at it and it's just flailing around down there. You have definitely pinned it down. You don't know what it's going to do though.
That's okay.
Ettercap is going
It's
to
surrounded.
take the disengage action and just let go of the rock.
Oh.
And plummet into the darkness below.
Oh.
He just noped right out of there.
Yeah, you did.
Is he gonna die when he hits?
You don't know. He disappears into darkness.
Oh.
60
I thought
feet
we could
beyond
see the
your-
bottom.
No.
We got a magic missile.
You guys can only see 60 feet, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Albert can see 120, but
Albert would see him then grabbing onto a thick layer of webs about 80 feet down, but below that it's still black.
yeah, that's terrifying.
Gosh, dude.
So
Messed up.
Hazani is up. And, well, she's going to hit the spider with her mace.
It's mine.
Yeah, it's an 18. Yeah, that's 7 damage.
Oh,
And she's like, kill steals, right? That's what we do?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how
Yes.
we do it.
That's how
No.
we do it?
No.
Only
that's
from
what-
Filbert.
That's what he does.
That is the real granite
who?
back way.
I haven't killed anyone.
I said Othig. I said
Oh.
that's what he does. And I pointed Othig.
I was
She's
gonna say,
ex-
I'm pretty sure you and Mav have all
Yep.
adequately
Oh, yeah.
taken kills for me.
She's pretty
Except-
excited.
Othic just confirmed that that's the real granite back way.
So Albert will come shooting back up out of the rock area in a panic and be urging you guys to get off the rocks right now. As you're watching the rocks around you, you hear like
Is
almost
there more
like
coming?
cables snapping.
Oh no.
Oh.
Can I get some assistance because I'm still? Lab.
I will
Are you?
utilize my
Yeah, no,
8 wolf
I'll-
spiders to assist us moving across here so that we don't
I'll
have as much
cut you
trouble.
out.
Okay, so they start
Yeah.
spraying webs trying to hold the rocks together, but several of them are just falling apart.
good.
So I do need, won't be a high DC because you have assistance coming, but I need 2 acrobatics checks as you leap from rock to rock trying to get across.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh
whoops.
no! Oh, I think that's two bad ones.
Yeah.
One is only
Real bad.
So, Othig, you make a
Why couldn't you say athletics?
because it's you got to keep your balance. It's a balancing thing, not just a jumping thing. It's a balance thing. So you go to make your first jump, and you just like bam.
Totally biff it. It's like one of those fail videos that you watch where someone tries to jump and they just like.
And then you try to get up and scramble to the next one, and like the rock next to you gives way, and it's still attached to the one that you're on, and it just spins and it dumps you over. Let's see. Thanak, you can make a grapple check. So can Filbert, and try and grab.
Thanak's just gonna like save
Nope,
everyone
not
from
on
falling.
my watch. We are not
Yes.
having granite backs fall into the abyss.
So
Not
you
on my
grab
watch.
Othig by the glaive because he's falling and the blade's out. You just grab the haft and you just swing and toss him.
Yeah,
Dwarf tossing.
yeah.
And then Filbert's
good.
like trying to grab him again as he goes flying and just kind of
He's still Zoidberging.
Oh,
Filbert was going to shoot some webs at him to see if he could lasso him. But
Oh, I totally would have let
he's
you do
fine.
that.
just
So-
imagine Thanak like Cusco and Emperor's New Groove, like looking at the pit, like, not today.
I
Yeah.
snatched you right out of the air.
I snatched you.
I'm a from the canyon wall. And so
That's totally it. That's totally the part.
You guys move out of the zone, and the entire floor begins to
Yeah.
collapse. And
Oof.
you guys make it out.
That's awesome. Well done, guys.
I didn't get to steal nobody, and nobody fell down.
Jeez.
Barely. On both accounts.
No, people fell down. They just didn't stay fall.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll close that map up. We don't need that area anymore. And you guys have made it
Good.
out of the Ettercaps area.
I still have the spiders for an hour. I'll keep them around just in case we come across anything else with spider webs. I know if there's any other spiders in the region.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you're watching. As you start to use your spiders to do that, you see that there's other areas much like the one you just left, and you see that the tracks in these areas, now that you know what you're looking for, they avoid these areas, but the Ettercaps make it look like they went right over them. You can see a definite difference in the footprinting over these areas that you didn't notice going over them before.
Oh, so it was like the Addercaps actually went to the path and made footprints to.
Make it look like
Their
everybody
trap.
crossed their trap.
That's sneaky.
Wow.
Ettercaps are real smart. They're terrifying creatures.
Yeah. Yep. So you now that you know what you're looking for, you avoid that area, and when you get to the other side of the mountains, sound begins to come back normally.
Gosh.
Do we
cool.
think that the sound was like that because of the ground was basically hollow?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of that. Getting a good look at the rocks, it was also a very metallic area, so that's where a lot of the echoing came from. But you're not quite sure why it had that sound void, but you think it had something to do with the trapping that the Ettercaps set up. You just don't quite know how it worked.
Figure out how they did it.
Yep.
Trixie Ettercaps.
Trixie Ettercaps.
The vibration all gets absorbed into the webs so they can track you.
Dude, I opened up the Western Waste map and I was like way zoomed in on this Ettercap and I was like, oh my gosh, it's as big as.
It's the size of a mountain.
That's totally scary.
All right.
It is terrifying.
Let's see what other terrible things your friends ran into.
Oh gosh. Please no.
Let's see. The North team is down a member, so their rolls will be at a -2, and they encounter an area that has a lot of holes leading down into the ground. They do their best to avoid it, but several carrion crawlers do crawl up, and I need a combat roll.
I'll roll it.
Oh, that's not so good. It's not a complete failure, though. They have a rough go of it, and Team Mandible is down another member. So they are down to 3. What's up, Lynn?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Lynn.
They all say hi.
Hi, future neighbor.
Andy says
Oh,
hi to
hey.
his neighbor.
Congratulations on your new job.
And Ryan said congratulations on your new job.
Oh, thanks. I
What
love
new job?
Oh, Lynn works at the Cambridge Winery now, just north of town. She's got a fancy
Oh,
pants
really?
event coordinator job.
I'm
Yeah.
seriously
She
so
works
excited
on, like-
for her.
Yeah, Megan just came in and said she's so excited for
Everybody is so excited for you.
I'm excited
cool.
for me. I love it.
Yeah.
It's pretty bougie.
All right, see you. We're getting close to done, so 20 minutes, half hour tops. See you soon. All right, so yeah, I would put the carrion crawlers up over this way a little bit more, but that's pretty close. Let's see what happens to the flint rocks.
You're going to say the stone.
The Flintstones? No. Let's see. Okay, so these guys, they've moved down off the plateau and they took the short road down, and they're out here in the area between the rivers, and they get surrounded by a bunch of blind clicking raptors.
Jeez.
And I need a combat roll for them.
Sorry, I don't know why that's incredibly
no.
funny to me.
They're
Blind clicking raptors.
Echolocation raptors, and they heard them coming, so they prepared for the charge. They do a pretty good job of putting them down, and they get to move on without any hassle at all.
It was like, initially, I knew they were like uber predators, but initially I'm just like, oh, they're disabled. That's so sad for them.
All right, so they make it out pretty good. Ziz's team is down 2 members. Their team is down 1 member and has 1 member Fomorian as they make their way through. And the Blood Spears, Flint Rocks. What happens to our Blood Spear friends? They decide to get off the river as down here after they go around the sides of the mountains. They're way down up past the split, and it comes back together. It gets very rapidy, and it also gets underdark jungly. And they're attacked by assassin vines while they're camping that evening.
Oh.
So give me a roll, boys.
Combat.
This one is explore nature.
I got it.
Oh
not
no!
Oh,
Plus 200 though.
200. Turns out.
Whoa, what the
turns
heck?
out-
Pretty solid.
Okay.
and with that roll, out of 201.
Unfortunately, before they realize what's happening, 2 of their members are dragged into the river and drowned. So they are
Are you kidding? With a 201, I think they just transcended space and time.
so they are down to 3/5 of a party as well.
They convinced the assassin vines to join their party.
All right. So you guys, we'll get back to you. Reports aren't going well. Obviously, they're not doing
No.
terrible. Honestly, though, they told you to expect to lose people.
Yeah.
The Underdark is a very, very dangerous place, and especially the non-civilized parts of it. It's just there's wild things out here that do things nobody expects them to do.
You know, Mav, if you would have had that ring of shifting in that last fight, that would have been really helpful.
Oh yeah.
No, it really would have been. It's unfortunate that you had that.
Oh man, I'm never gonna use that. I don't get hit. I'm gonna get hit all day.
Only person to be targeted.
So you
That's not
guys,
true. Spider guy hit a bunch.
Wow.
as you approach this bay, You see the ground dips down quite a bit. It's pretty rocky. There's mushroom trees and other underdark foliage growing here, and you see a small dock. It's actually a fairly large dock, but the town around it is small. It is a makeshift camp, and there is a pen with about 300 people in it.
Do some perception checks to scope out the area a little bit more and see if there's any like guards or security or
Yes,
whatnot.
please.
I'm instead of doing a worthless perception check, I'm going to start casting detect magic.
Okay.
I know it's a short range, but the idea is that we get
Yes.
closer and I'll be able to see something. Yeah.
Oathing, you're not poking nothing out. Filbert, barely. Mav, pretty good. There are about 8 drow around this area. One of them looks to be a pretty decent level magic user. She's barking orders to a bunch of males. All of the people in the pens are chained, and they all have collars on them. And it looks like there's some sort of mechanical nature to these collars, but you can't, from where you're hiding, you can't quite see.
All right.
Did we have a rest?
Yeah, you would have had.
I assume we. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, when you were finding out what happened to everybody else, you get a rest. So I will apply that.
A short rest?
Oh,
No, it'd be a
wow.
long
Full
rest.
rest.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
This has been a 4-day trip,
Oh no, I'm dead.
but you're not. Maybe the spider died.
Yes. Sushi.
Oh, hey, can you put bless back on us?
Blast back on us, yeah.
Andy will have to do that.
Yeah.
She did. I'll put it on in just a second, guys. Yes, she did.
No worries.
So,
So
Matt
as we
explains
get in
the
here, I think
situation.
Phil's gonna pass another trace on us so we can get a jump on these guys, and do some damage to them. Unless anybody has a better plan.
Let's do it.
okay.
I'm good with that.
Let's do this. Hey, Mav and I will focus on the spellcaster, and then the rest of you will get the others.
Wonderful. Quite real quick question with daylight, Mike. If I cast it on an object, can we cover that object up and reveal it once we get into combat? How does
I
that
think-
work?
I think with
I'm gonna-
daylight you
Here's the
can.
point of an object you're holding. Yeah, the light shines from the object. I just don't know if we can cover it. It does say
Pretty
completely
sure that's
covering
a
it.
thing that's like
Oh,
in the
yeah, it actually
manual. Like
does
if
say
you
it. It
You
says it
can
in the spell.
cover up the light cantrip.
Yeah,
Like if you-
I would say you'd be able to put it inside of something.
because it's like if you cast it on an object and up,
Yep.
then it's
I
dwarfed by the
You
thing
could-
that you're.
would
You
like to
could cast it on my dagger.
I'm going to cast it on the war gong because that's epic.
The
And
Wait,
then-
Wargong's pretty big.
is it too
Yeah.
big to put in the bag of holding?
No.
Lynn in the background.
I think that was Megan. Actually.
No, that was
That was
Megan.
Megan.
What was that?
We all recognize the laugh. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna put the war gong in the bag of holding, cast daylight on it, cinch it up, and when we go to get into the fight, I'll toss it to Othig for him to bang it. Once
Okay.
we get
Yeah,
into combat.
I like that idea.
All right. So,
great.
make a
I'm-
stealth check as you try and this is just if you're trying to find a place to hide to do this.
Okay, I do have pass without a trace.
Yeah.
Do we still get that plus 10? Okay.
Yeah. Well, is
this
daylight a
all of us?
concentration spell?
It's not. Daylight is not a concentration spell.
All right.
That's why I looked at it. I was very specific.
Do you
All right.
want all of us to roll or just those?
Nope, just him because he's
Okay.
just Filbert
Oh.
because he's trying to find a place to hide this. Oh, that's
No.
wonderful.
Well, he's gonna
That's
do
okay.
that.
Yep. Yeah, I can't even beat that with the nat 20 I rolled for perception with one of the drow.
Jeez.
So
34.
you watch
Plus a
them.
D10.
Yep. You watch them look. They're looking around. The males are fairly active in trying to figure out what's happening. and keeping an eye on their charges. And you do pick up that there are 6 males and 1
Okay.
mage.
Yeah.
And
You guys are just gonna take that one mage.
So here's what I would like to do, if it's possible. I would like to approach from 2 different sides. So Othig and Phil will approach from one side, whereas Mav and I can try to approach from the side that the mage is on.
where do you want Hazani to go?
With the other 2.
Yeah.
I can heal us if we need to.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
I am going to cast Shield of Faith on Othig.
Okay.
Sweet.
I am
Before-
also. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm gonna
I just
put-
said before we go.
Okay, I'm gonna put Baroner's Blesser on me.
Right
If
on.
we split
Hey,
up,
Mike.
get my stealth bonus.
As long as we're
Okay.
Okay, why don't we let them engage first?
that's what I was gonna ask. And I was
Draw.
gonna and I was gonna add to that. As long as we're doing some planning, since we still have pass without a trace. Oh wow, pass without a trace on. Try to make like a initial attack by dashing in at 120 feet for an attack.
How can you go that fast?
Charge.
Charge does charge double your speed,
He gets his move.
which is 30.
So sorry, 60.
Okay, that makes total sense.
That makes more sense.
Yep.
Because I was like,
So that's only
I
said
was like,
120.
because I was like, I have a Tabaxi monk, and it's hard for me to get that fast. Like
No,
I can
60.
do it, but
All right. So this is what you guys are seeing. This is the mages down here.
do you have the thing up?
It's the same map we were
It's
just on.
Cavern 4.
Oh,
And I just threw some buildings up.
okay. Hold on. What map was that? What was the name of it?
Cavern
Cavern
floor.
floor. All right, I can just reshare it again. It's not a big deal. Boink.
Oh,
There.
cool. Thank you. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'll say with the stealth checks. So, Filbert, if you want to make 2 stealth checks, you can move Thanak and Mav into position, then go back to the other group, and then move with them. So, but you'll have to make 2, and everybody else can make 1.
Okay, I will do that.
Cool. Thank you. Oh no. Oh, but that's a. Why did
No, it's
you?
not an advantage.
It shouldn't have been 2. Regardless, it is a plus 10.
Okay, so it's still a 4.
It's a plus 12.
No, it's already at the plus 2.
Oh, it's 2 plus 10. I get it.
Okay.
And then
So that's my first one is a 24.
Okay.
yikes.
Ooh.
So mine's a 17.
Oh.
This is not going the right way.
I mean, mine is still a 17.
You are still 17.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeez.
Dang.
That's your total, right, Phil?
That's his second.
Yep, his second one. All right, so here's what happens.
Yeah, that's my second.
All right. Now, the side you were putting those on, there's only a few over there to notice you. This guy, Drow 6, definitely noticed, though. He noticed as Filbert was moving back off. And so, Filbert, you are stuck on this side.
Okay, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Yep, because you didn't make it back over to the other group to move into
That's
the
what the
next position.
second stealth was to get back out.
Yep. So, however, now all the Drow are distracted, and Othig and Hazani could take their stealth rolls and run into position around late and still come in that way. But unfortunately, your ambush crumbled because of not great stealth rolls in 2 18s and a 19 on my checks.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yep.
Well, as soon as we're spotted, do I know we've been spotted? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they start blowing war horns.
I will hit the gong and I will throw it to Thanok. And I will
Yeah, that works.
let them know that the Gong of War has been initiated, so that Othig and Hazani aren't surprised.
Okay. Sounds good. You guys also, Othig, and make a perception check. Hazani's going to make one too. She's a full-on NPC now, so that's not good. That's the same kind of not good. Good thing it was Mav. That Othig, you look at the collars on the people in the pens, and they're definitely Kren people. They have spikes on the outside of them, and it looks like they're rigged up to some sort of mechanism.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, roll initiative, everybody.
Where are they all? Are they in the 60
They're in the
foot?
60-foot pen.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, forgotten out loud.
And actually, Othig and Hazani, I'm going to put you over on this side coming in because you weren't ever able to get into position. But your stealth rolls were still good enough to where they don't know you're there. So, next round you'll be able to run in and grab them.
Okay.
All right. So, you were spotted and Drow Mage. Wargong was tossed out. Drow Mage is active. Everybody make dexterity checks as
Is she casting a spell?
she is casting a spell.
How far
What?
away is she?
She
40
is
feet.
40 feet away.
Unless
Are you absorbing it?
I would like to do an Arcana check to determine. I'm going to absorb it.
All right, you're gonna suck up a level 3 spell. She was about to cast Fireball and you sucked it up.
Yeah, that's kind of the thought.
And she
So-
goes to cast and nothing happens, and she watches the magic just pull out of her hands, and
She does get a concentration check or a constitution check.
check. I always forget that, and I'm glad it's there. And that is, what's your DC? What's the DC on that?
15.
You lucky dog. I got a 14.
Oh,
So you do manage to pull it from her. All right, so that's her turn. Filbert. She barks some orders in Undercommon. You hear,
And
pull the lever. Kill the prisoners.
I would repeat that. I would
Do we-
yell that out as well.
Okay,
Do we
now she
see a
looks
lever?
super mad. You do see a lever because you watch two guys look at it. It is right between those two guards by the pen.
ugh.
Can you point to it?
Lever.
They ain't getting that lever.
I mean, they're all gonna go.
No, they're not. Don't you worry.
That's not, I'm not letting that
So, Filbert, following his stigma, and recently having met the Iron Wolf, right? Iron Wolf?
Yeah, you would have met the Iron Wolf.
Marlemere.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let out a little howl and a yip yip, and I will summon my pack as 8 wolves apparate
happen. Nice.
Right in that space.
right on those guys, surrounding both of them. And I will turn into a dire wolf.
All right. Let me.
And I am going to charge the mage.
Mine was in Dwarvish, by the way. I don't know if that matters, but
Oh,
that would have been my response.
Okay.
Would have been in Dwarvish.
that's fine. We will leave that as Dwarvish then. She did not understand what you said. Wolf and wolf.
I got him. Oh, I was going to say, I was just dragging the W tokens in here.
Oh, that's fine. You can still operate on those tokens. I'm just putting
Okay.
them in the combat tracker.
Oh,
and
thank you.
your combat, you got 18. So
And then, so I can't do anything, but my wolves are going to attack those drow with their pack tactics. They will have advantage. There is a +4 to each of those attacks.
Everything above an 11 is going to hit.
All
The
right.
10 will not hit.
So
11 or above.
2 against number 2. So that one is knocked prone. That didn't roll the advantage on those. Do you want me to just roll another set of 8 and then mimic the dice across the line?
Yeah, let's do that.
So that'll add 1 to that first one.
Okay. How much total damage?
8, 6, and 9. I'm
Got
dropping them on his token.
Got it.
And then 1, 2, 3. To him with save. And so he'll be prone as well. All right. That's everything Phil's got.
All right.
Is this a round of like surprise attack for us?
No.
No.
No,
They-
for,
they-
not
Is
for
that where you want
Othic
your
and
wolves to stop, Filbert?
What was that?
Is that where you want your wolves to stop?
I wanted them to kind of surround them and impose themselves between the lever and the guys.
That's what I meant. So let's put them, like that then.
Okay.
So, and we will say that in the packs of wolves, the guys cannot get to the levers.
Othic and Hazani don't get a surprise round?
No, because you guys you're running to the combat field.
Okay.
Because the surprise was blown. You would have,
Alright.
but and the only reason these guys are going is because they were closer. They were the ones sneaking into position. You guys have not yet gone into position. So, all right, draw 1. It's going to run down this way. He's going to use. How far is it? He can get to here. Draw 2, picks himself up, and will make a swing with his 2 short swords at the wolves. And
Wolf's dumb.
why is he rolling at disadvantage?
Because he's on the
Prone.
ground.
He's
Prone.
prone.
Oh, sorry. It adds effects.
That's okay. That's cool. I'm glad it does that. I just wasn't aware.
Yeah.
So he stands up. I'll have to re-roll those because I don't know which ones were which. And both of those are going to hit. So wolves are going to take... I'm actually just going to put their tokens on the map, Tony, and then you can change them. That way I can roll onto them.
Sounds good.
For now, I'll do it this way.
Each wolf has 11 hit
Yep.
points. I don't know if that matters to you. But...
So there. So Wolfpack 1. I'm going to... I can always tell when it's getting towards the end of the night because my RAM starts to build up. And everything runs a little slower. It's just like, oh, everything's a little slower.
Why does it do that?
I don't know. It's you know what it is? It's running 2 instances of Fantasy Ground and OBS to record. And then Discord running video. It's just a lot. Even for a good system, it's just a lot. All right, so there we go. That's fixed.
The downside to doing things on a laptop.
Yep. And then draw 5 is going to attack the wolves too. Oh, stupid disadvantage. I would have hit with both of those, so it's not going to matter. Yeah, my mouse begins to lag just a little bit. Everything just starts to slow down. And he's going to hit with both. So. All right, and then these two guys are going to dash down to this thing that's going after the mage, but they are not going to be able to do anything else. And then this guy is going to step forward and protect his lady.
He's a good man.
Well, he'd like to reproduce someday without having it cut off. So.
Oh, they're in my square. That's terrifying.
Well, I think you're a little big for your square, aren't you?
No, I'm a 2x2 as a dire wolf.
Okay, I was moving them from further out. They're not in perfect squares.
Oh, gotcha.
They would be there. Actually, you wanted to be able to hit her. So.
Yep, I wanted to be in melee with her. There you go. That's
how
beautiful.
And then he will attack you second time, so you're hit and
you're
missed.
I never rolled my dog health.
Okay. Well,
Don't worry about my roll.
Don't
I was just testing something. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it is now your turn, though, Mav. The drow are surrounding Filbert.
Mav is going to take 1, 2, 3, 5 steps, and he is going to unleash a second level spell using his overload at the mage.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
And
hold on.
Save.
I got a question. Can you use shield against a spell attack, or does it have to be a melee?
Oh.
You can use shield because you can use it against
yeah, it'd be a ranged attack.
you can use it
you could use it
against
against anything.
magic missiles.
So if she's using shield, I'm gonna use divine perception.
Okay.
Oh.
So you will overcome the shield then.
And then
Yeah. Magic missiles.
subpar.
Dude.
Yep. You blast her.
Subpar.
All right. Othig,
And that'll be all I do.
you and Hizani run in on this round, so you guys are there. You are now on the map. Next round you can do stuff. Thanik.
You said we're what, 40 feet away from
45.
Yep.
45. So I will move 30. I want to make sure that I'm
you now have the daylight on them. That's going to be good.
Yep, they are now all they're freaking out. They're having a very hard time focusing on anything nearby.
Yep. Okay. And then I will.
So that puts them at disadvantage or something.
Sure does.
Right? Oh.
I'm gonna.
The sinister laugh.
Throwing a Thanik special.
The bomb?
The bomb. So the plan is to throw right here.
Okay.
Hit those three.
Okay.
So, is there
Make an
Do
attack roll. You
Okay.
have to hit your square.
Dude, you know what's funny? The last time you threw bombs, you were in a camp as well. Dude, you realize?
All right, that's a great roll. So you softball pitch that sucker just up over Filbert's head, just up over the other guy's head, and the one guy looks at them, at the other, and Mav hears him go, "What's that hissing sound?"
I would just like to point out I'm a dog. My natural instinct is to catch the ball.
So you don't want to catch that one.
I'm not going to do it, but man, do I want to. Ball.
Boom. 8 damage to all three of them.
All right.
Nice.
Is that considered an attack?
It is considered an attack.
So I can do that again.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, hey, sorry.
Whoa,
I mean, that all hits. I had all three of them targeted.
Oh.
Just settle down there.
Yeah.
He might
Cluster
have just
bomb.
He crit on the bomb.
I'd like to
Fennec
present
goes
to you
berserk.
Jericho.
Okay. Okay. So the first roll was a 20.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I?
Yep, you're good. A nat
So I
20
can
or
make-
a dirty 20?
It was a
Nat
nat 20.
20.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god.
Okay.
This time
I don't-
they hear it land behind them and they all turn around and look right at it.
How do I force a crit? Is it shift?
Shift.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Nice
You missed
one.
Oh
You missed one.
no, I couldn't hit the bottom one.
Yep, not without hitting Phil.
No, you only hit 2 of them.
Yeah, you didn't hit
No.
3. 3 would have taken another 6, 8, or how much damage was that?
17 as well.
17.
Jeez.
Yeah, it would have killed him.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I guess I didn't have him targeted. Look at that.
Dude.
Boom.
Legit. Oh my god.
Oh, that was great.
All right, so
Thank you,
Hazani-
Mike, for the bombs.
You just won out to the I got
Adam,
bombs. I
Adam.
never thought that would.
Why did you not yell it? Where is the I got bombs?
I got bombs.
Well, it was part of the character at the
Yeah.
time as
Well,
well.
right, but he has a phrase for this character too.
They're
You're
getting
You're
bombs.
getting it. You're getting it.
Oh, that was great.
So you
They got it
guys
all right.
make perception checks for me as there's explosions going on and screaming and wolves barking and drow freaking out. Mav doesn't hear it; it's lost.
Gosh, I feel like we're right back in that spot at your table on
That was a good time.
on
You
on
were
Green
actually-
Street.
You were actually on, but you guys weren't in a camp. You were on a main street and you were fighting the moon rat mech.
Yeah, but it was like a gated area though that we were trying to get
Yeah,
into.
you were
and
like,
he,
coming
threw
out
some
of
guard.
Giovanni's compound.
Yeah.
There were some people who were on the inside,
Yeah.
and I was on the outside making a distraction.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
And
I
you
was
made it
making
all right.
and I made it.
Thana, you both hear this. Filbert, what did you roll?
21.
21. You hear it too. You hear an answering drow war horn from the water. And you're seeing a sailing vessel with several dozen drow soldiers on deck coming into port.
Thanak, you have the gong.
I do.
You better ring that gong with your bonus action.
Oh man, I guess I do. I wasn't thinking about. I don't know how to. I don't have a gong button, so I'll just roll a d20.
Just roll D20. Yeah.
That's a good gong.
That's a good gong.
And I'll just point at Otheg and just.
All right,
Yeah,
Filbert,
Othig will definitely give us.
Yeah.
What's up?
it's Europe.
Hazani has to go.
Zazani ran into the battlefield. It's not.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, so Filbert is going to attack his new little friend here by him.
That first wolf pack is down by one wolf.
First wolf pack down by one wolf. Got it. But Phil is going to bite this Joker next to him. I have advantage on that
Yes,
because
you
I
do,
have an
'cause
ally
he's-
nearby.
And he's blinded.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
buddy.
Blinded by the light.
So he's
And
gonna
he
take
just-
some
he's-
damage.
He just watched all of his friends get just evaporated.
It's true. It happened. That's what happened.
Yep, you threw that first one and it landed and it blew them up and you kind of giggled and you're like, I like these. My St. Cain's beard.
And I will not knock him prone.
Okay.
good
And then we're gonna move to the other wolves. So the first group is down by one, so that'll be 4 attacks. No, it's 3, 6. So this is for Wolfpack 1. Those
20.
will all hit with a natural 20.
The 7. Oh, yeah, they're at advantage. So,
Yep.
I don't think he can survive that. Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
So there's one. Well, then the remainder of them will attack the other guy. Bap.
Yeah, the pen is now cheering.
Yep.
And
Oh,
several
those
of them
will-
are yelling about the ship as well.
Yep.
That's all right. We'll blow that thing up too.
Yep.
Don't get cocky.
Yeah, seriously.
I have a powder keg left.
All right, they're both dead.
Matt will pour some caltrops into it
Well,
and ball bearings.
unless you can huck it like 400 yards, I'm not sure.
So I only needed to use 2 of the wolves to kill those 2 guys. The other ones are going to head towards Drow 1.
Okay. How far can they move?
40 feet? I'm guessing.
Well, that first group ran around some, so they can't make
Oh,
it.
okay.
Let me draw a quick arrow.
That's 45, just
Yep. So they will both end up just short. They can use their dash to get on him.
Okay,
But
that'll work.
this pack will end up there. Well, if they're going to use their dash, then they can get to there.
Well, but the one used their attacks, so they don't have a dash.
That's true.
Only
You're
2
right.
of the wolves.
Yeah. We'll still let them move as a pack, but they're not going to. Yeah,
Yep,
that's fine.
it's fine.
I'm
They're all
not
gonna
too
do
worried
things on
about
their next turn.
it this round. So it's now his turn. He is going to disengage and head for the hills. He cuts off, and that's
Hey, the
little
water's that way. You were going for the hills. It's the other way.
Yep, he's running for the docks. And this guy is going to do the same. Disengage and run. Except he can't move that far. He can get to there. All right.
Did anyone get opportunity on that?
No,
Nope,
he
Not if you
disengage.
disengage.
Man,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
up.
Well, that's a good enough spot. Trolling the dead.
He will fail. He
Oh,
will
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
a lot of
There we go.
dude. Dude, you exceeded by a whole die. That's great.
Mav is going to yell at Othig and Hazini to get the people out of the
Dude,
pen.
I'm totally on it. I was gonna ask before if they're yelling anything about like how if their things are rigged if we pull them off their neck.
Don't pull the lever.
Well, I don't want to pull the lever, but I want to get the things off their neck and out. Well,
Yes.
Like if I try to pull them off.
They're yelling about keys. Keys. Get the keys.
Oh,
It's probably one of the guys who just.
so he's going to...
Oh, actually, no.
Panic.
Whose turn is it?
Mav, still.
It's yours.
Then yours.
Is it mine now?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna check the bodies that were closest for the keys.
Keys. You found keys.
Great. I'm gonna start disabling these things on people's necks.
Okay.
How many can I do in a round? Because there's 300 people.
You should hand off the keys then to them to do it.
Yeah.
Unlock the door, and then
Okay.
they'll handle it themselves as they start.
Wait. Are we saying the keys are just for the door, or the devices on their
No.
necks, or both?
Both. There's keys for the
Okay,
gates, and then you can pass the keys off to them inside. They can unlock themselves.
Okay, I will do that then.
Okay, cool.
So,
All right. So then that brings up Thanak.
what is that from?
Better off dead.
It's such a great movie. It's his nightmare of the paper boy coming for him. This is $2.
I want my $2. 5, 10,
So weird.
15, 20, 20.
Bunch of
30?
paper boys.
And we're gonna some draft. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's running forward, just grabbing his head and screaming.
Oh no,
Oh.
that's so lame.
Oh, that is lame.
Oh, that is lame.
All right.
And that's it.
So Hazani is going to dash, and she'll be able to get to right past the Wolvies, and she's going to summon a spiritual weapon.
Hey.
Yeah.
And bam.
Bam.
That shows up, and right there.
Pew, pew.
Crank on him. That's going to hit him for 5 plus, that's 9.
What?
You trying to hack the system or what?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
All right. So she
Get your,
deals this
get your hacker stuff out of here.
And as the round ends, you watch as 20, 30 arrows come flying off of this boat towards the camp, and they all start landing and impaling around that drow. And he falls over dead. And as the boat pulls up to the dock, a heavily armored drow male jumps off of it and starts striding forward towards you guys. The others start securing the boat, and I need you guys to make perception checks.
When did this happen?
Right now.
Just now.
Oh, okay. Filbert.
Mav, you can actually make this one an advantage and make up for that terrible one you just rolled, maybe. Well, it's not great.
But it's better than a 1.
It's better than a 1. Othig, you notice it first, and Mav, this is hard for you to pick up. You notice it, Filbert's looking at it. This drow walking towards you is wearing order regalia.
Oh.
And he walks up to you, and Mav, once he gets up to you, you realize this is old school symbolism from the order. This is 400 or 500 years old. You've seen it on documents and books, and he introduces himself as Celet Drektharian of the order. And he says, I haven't seen surface people in quite some time. I was once part of a group known as the Zoo. Welcome to the
Does he have a tiefling with him?
He does not, because the tiefling's a gold dragon. And that's where we'll stop tonight. For you guys who don't know who he is, he was a major NPC in a different campaign.
Oh, okay.
That he was.
He was...
where a previous Bastion died.
Yep.
Actually, 5 of them.
Yep. He was 400 years ago during the founding of Chamsburg. He was the only drow to ever convert to the Order, and he went back into the Underdark, figured he'd be executed, and honestly ended up leading a huge rebellion. And so...
That's awesome.
They're still down here, apparently.
Wow.
So.
Huh.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
Well, you guys have a wonderful night.
Good night.
too, Andy.
I'll see you next week.
That was
All right. Night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Night, Ryan. Night, guys.
Good night. Good night.